to South.
Expert play-by-play with Steve McDonald.
Still Saver. Gets it on right side high.
In-depth color commentary by Allan Cummings.
Huge break for South. We've got East rattled.
And all of the excitement from your South High Bison athletic programs.
He cuts it up, he's in the end zone!
Are you ready?
And this is going to be absolutely humongous.
Here is Steve and Allan live on 1112 BISN.
And good evening, Bison fans, and welcome to Risky Field here on the campus of Cheyenne Central High School. Well, tonight we will bring you high school football, crosstown rivalry style, as the South High Fighting Bison make the short trip across town in 4A conference football to take on the Cheyenne Central Indians. Steve McDonald joining you with Allan Cummings, the owner of Bison Web and Media. And Allan, great spring or great fall-looking night for football here from Central High School.
Well, I'll tell you what, it really is. It's a really nice night. It's got a little bit of drizzle going out there. Not like last week when we had nothing but lightning, had the game delayed for an hour. You know, so this is going to be exciting. You know, we got a new chapter in Central High football. We got South trying to get that first victory against Central. They're 0-3 overall in varsity action against Central in football. So it's an exciting night.
So both teams come into tonight's contest winless, 0-1 on the season after opening season losses. Central had to make the trek up north to play the powerhouse Natrona County Mustangs in Drew Severn's first game as head coach. Didn't go quite the way Central had hoped, and they fell in that game to Natrona by the score of 48-20. I believe at one point it was 48-7 Natrona. So Central kept playing and fighting in that game to get them to a 48-20 loss. Of course, well documented, the South High home loss to the Evanston Red Devils. South down by 4 points with 3 minutes left in the game. They take possession at their own 20 and really showed some resiliency and really showed some guts by driving the length of the field, getting to a goal-to-goal situation. They had 3rd and goal at the 3-yard line with a timeout and one in the bag. So they basically had 2 guaranteed plays. Could not put it in the end zone and lost an absolute heartbreaker, 21-17.
Man, they really did lose that heartbreaker, Steve. And I'll tell you what, it was all set up. If you think about it, it was set up by that interception by Michael DeBryan in the end zone. Got the ball at our 20-yard line, drove 80 yards, Steve. 80 yards. Well, let me take that back. 77 yards. 77 yards just to get stopped on the 3-yard line. 2 different plays. We lost 1 yard on that first play. Lost through an incomplete pass on that second play. That was all she wrote. But, you know, you got to look at the positive signs that came out of that game, Steve. Marquez Jefferson, his first game rushing for the South High Bison in varsity action. We got 105 yards from him. And then we had Austin Barker, who came out of his shell, threw for 158, 150-something yards, and they looked good. They kept Evanston's defense off balance. It wasn't the same Bison team that you had seen the last 3 years, if you really think about it. Run up the middle, run up the middle, run up the middle, punt. This was a different-looking team, and I hope that we can take that difference and do something here against Central tonight.
And that's a typical reflection of the growth of the Bison program, to the fact that they had a chance to go ahead and win that game against Evanston. And, you know, there's an air of confidence about this team going into tonight's game. Central in a rebuilding or a new type program with new head coach Drew Severn. We know that Central's got talent pretty much every position on the football field, so they're going to be a talented team, but they're in a bit of a transition as well. And this is a game, quite honestly, the South feels that they can come over and take this game.
You know, there's really no reason why they can't take this game. I mean, these teams are pretty much evenly matched now. You know, the triad system has been going into effect for 4 years now, and it's been a hard triad system. So, you know, I guess you could say it's going to come down to coaching tonight, Steve. It really is. You know, Drew Severn's getting his first job, his first shot with the 4A conference, and it's going to be interesting to see how South attacks this team, you know, because it's such a new team. Their confidence got rattled last week. So it's going to be interesting to see, is Coach Pugh going to really start attacking this team early, really take the rest of the confidence that Central might have out, and hopefully walk away with this one, Steve.
And looking at some scouting reports from last week, it appears that Natrona made some hay through the air against Central and were able to throw the ball fairly well. They threw for over 200 yards against Central. And, you know, South threw the ball pretty well last week as well, so you figure that would be one point of emphasis for South to try to attack that Central defense through the air. We have heard throughout the week that Central wants to do a better job in their passing game. So both teams looking to improve their passing game. However, with the conditions, the field is wet, the track's wet, there is a constant rain falling and a drizzle. The balls are going to be wet, so might not be the best night for both teams to try to fix their air tags.
Might not really be. I could see this coming down to the running game, Steve. I can really see it. And, you know, that could hurt Central the worst because they got Tate Montgomery, the receiver, you know, really fast kid. And if it comes down to a running game, it's going to come down to, you know, Marquez Jefferson's slick. He's slick, he's quick, and he's explosive. So I think that's where South might have the edge right there.
So fans, no video of tonight's game.
Oh, no, there's video.
Oh, we got video? Okay, so we got the whole thing going, video and everything. We're going to take our first time out here. Plenty more to go. When we come back, we're going to look at some statistics for these two footballs in their second week of the season, look at the state's top 5. Also got Allen's Keys to Victories coming up. All that ahead on the S&J Signs Pregame Show, and you're listening to Bison Football on 1112 BISN.
Your Bison Network.
Hello, Bison fans. This is Steve McDonald, voice of the South High Bison. Do you need a full-service real estate expert? Then visit Misty Woods from Number One Properties. Whether you are buying or selling, her expertise and understanding of the local market can make your real estate transaction a success. Visit www.mistywoods, that's M-I-S-T-I-E woods.com, to learn about her services. Once again, that is www.mistywoods.com. Misty Woods and Number One Properties. Expertise and friendly service is just a click away.
Is your home beginning to look like an episode of Hoarders on the A&E network? Then head over to American Storage and Postal. With 555 storage units ranging from 5x10 to 12x42, they'll have the right size unit that fits your needs. American Storage also has warehouse units with heat, phone, and power. No need to worry about the security of your belongings because American Storage is equipped with 24-hour video surveillance and a computer-controlled entry system to ensure the safety and security of you and your property. So before the clutter pushes you out of your house, call American Storage at 307-635-9335 or go see them at 1903 South Freely Highway and tell them 1112 BISN sent you.
This is number 58, Andrew Eaglewood from the South High Bison football team, and you are listening to the S&J Signs Pregame Show live on BISN, your Bison Network.
Here's a question. Why pay all that money for an expensive airbrush or paint job to get those custom graphics? Go see Randy Peterson at Custom Illusions to get those custom graphics put on through their hydro dipping process. From mild to wild, from bit bits, it dips. And if you have any questions, give them a call at 634-DIP. That's 634-3477. Or stop in at 909 East Fox Farm Road, number 1. Custom Illusions, your hydro dipping and automotive specialist.
We're back here live from Risky Field. Steve McDonald and Allan Cummings on the S&J Signs Pregame Show as the South High Bison make the crosstown trek to take on Cheyenne Central High School, the Indians, in Week 2 of 4A Conference football here in Wyoming. Again, both teams coming into the contest winless 0-1, so one team's going to walk off the field tonight with their first victory. The other team will go to 0-2.
Yeah, that's a deep 0-2, especially when we got the number 1 team in the conference coming, or next week on our schedule. So I think this is a big motivational game for South. Kind of get to see where we're really at this early in the season. Yeah, we could say that against Evanston, but Central's a storied football program. Doesn't matter if it's a first-year head coach or not. They're very storied, and if South can somehow pull this out tonight, it's going to be a great, great night for South High School.
So let's take a look at the rankings around the state for the 4A conference. There was a little bit of a shakeup in the rankings this week as Gillette actually was voted into the number 1 spot in the 4A conference. East fell 1 spot from first to second. Natrona keeps the 3rd spot. Sheridan is 4th, and Evanston, with their win over South, jumps into the top 5. They are ranked number 5 in the state. Of course, Gillette coming off that 54-0 pounding over Kelly Walsh, and that is what catapulted them into the number 1 spot in the 4A rankings.
I hate to say it, but if you guys listened to our broadcast last week, I picked it. I really did. I knew that Gillette was going to be a good team, and Kelly Walsh, now granted they were ranked 5th, but they beat a ranked opponent, so that is going to get Gillette moved up there.
And in other scores from last week, Sheridan did beat Laramie 49-6. We talked about the Gillette 54-0 walloping of Kelly Walsh. Evanston and South, of course, 21-17. Evanston. East went on the road against a Rock Springs team that they really knew little about, and they were able to come out of that, overwhelmed them with sheer talent, 34-15. And, of course, Central goes up and goes down to Natrona 48-20. Coming off of the first week on the offensive side of the ball, South actually is 5th in the state of 10 teams in total team offense. Central ranked 8th in team offense. South had 310 total yards in that first game, which is an impressive output for the South squad. Central held to just 212 yards, again against the vaunted Natrona defense.
Not just that, but Steve, we ran like 68 plays last week. 68. That's got to be like an all-time high for South. But it wasn't just all runs. I mean, we had 28 pass attempts, had like 40 rush attempts, so they had a really balanced attack. Now, they did have more rushes. That's going to be high school football, period. But 28 pass attempts or 26 pass attempts, I'll tell you what, that's a good sign for South football.
It's a good recipe. Open it up. On the defensive side of the ball, South also 5th in the state. They gave up 280 yards to that Evanston team. Central ranked 9th. They gave up 361. We talked about it, 230 in the air to Natrona. And so Central's got to do some things to shore up their defense.
They really do, and they've got the talent to do it. Central has the talent to shore it up. So it's going to be interesting to see how South attacks this defense. They've had a week to game plan against South's new offensive look, and it's going to be interesting to see how we change it up.
Individually, Marquez Jefferson, coming off the first week, is ranked 5th in the 4A in rushing. Marquez went for 105 yards last week on 24 carries, and he did have a touchdown in that game. Central is not among the top 10 in rushing, but it's good to have South with the weapon of Marquez Jefferson in the backfield.
Man, I'll tell you what, seeing Marquez run, I mean, he's like 4'3", right? Marquez, don't get mad when you hear this. But he's a small guy, but he's really strong. He's got a lot of muscle, but he's quick. And a lot of people think quick is fast. He's fast too. And what I mean by quick is he sees the hole and he knows just when to hesitate and just when to burst through it and just when to turn on that acceleration to get to the edge. He got to the edge against Rock Springs quite a bit last week, Steve. And against Evanston. And those runs really showed me what he could do, and then when he would get it in the middle, he'd get 3 or 4 yards a pop. So
having a top 5 rusher to go along with a top 3 passer. Now, if you're on Wild Preps, of course, they have the numbers wrong. Austin switched numbers in midstream, so they don't have him listed, but he actually is the number 4 player for South, wears the number 4 jersey, and he is 3rd in the state after week 1 of passing. He was 11 for 26 for 158 yards, and that puts him 3rd in the state. One thing you'll see with Central is they have a 2-quarterback system now. We presume that they'll start Rhett much more, but they'll have Brock Anderson play quarterback as well. Incidentally, those 2 guys are ranked 9th and 10th in passing, so Central has 2 of the top 10 passers. Last week, Anderson was 9 of 15 for 79 yards, and Muchmore was 6 of 16 for 74 yards. So it sounds like Central might use a little bit of a dual quarterback system.
Hey, right, yeah, and they might, and they're going to. They're going to use 2 quarterbacks in this game, and that is just because no one's really kind of taking control, taking the lead of that to say I'm the quarterback. Hey, so for all you Bison fans out there listening, don't forget we do have our call-in number. Give us a call at 1-877-266-7985. That's 1-877-266-7985. Ask us your question. We're also broadcasting this game video-wise. Now, one thing about Central's booth is they don't have windows that opened up, so you might see a reflection on the glass in front of our camera. There's nothing we can do about that, but we'll try to get you the best video possible for this game. And we appreciate you all watching and listening. But don't forget to give us a call. You've got 15 or 12 minutes left on the S&J Signs Pregame Show to ask us your questions or post us your comments.
So we're going to take another time out there, getting ready to do the coin toss. And when we come back, we'll let you know how the coin toss came out. We still got Allan's keys to the game to go and plenty much more to go on the S&J Signs Pregame Show here on 1112 BISN.
Your Bison Network.
Are you a high school student that has received an academic, athletic, music, or any other type of high school letter? If you are, then bring your letter and your letterman's jacket to A Stitch in Life, located at 1024 East Pershing Boulevard, and have them sew that patch onto your letterman's jacket for you. Specializing in sewing, tailoring, and embroidery, A Stitch in Life will bring your letterman's jacket to life. Give A Stitch in Life a call at 307-426-5009 or visit them at 1024 East Pershing Boulevard and let them know 1112 BISN sent you.
Hello, Bison fans. This is Steve McDonald, voice of the South High Bison. Do you need a full-service real estate expert? Then visit Misty Woods from Number One Properties. Whether you are buying or selling, her expertise and understanding of the local market can make your real estate transaction a success. Visit www.mistywoods, that's M-I-S-T-I-E woods.com, to learn about her services. Once again, that is www.mistywoods.com. Misty Woods and Number One Properties. Expertise and friendly service is just a click away.
Is your home beginning to look like an episode of Hoarders on the A&E network? Then head over to American Storage and Postal. With 555 storage units ranging from 5x10 to 12x42, they'll have the right size unit that fits your needs. American Storage also has warehouse units with heat, phone, and power. No need to worry about the security of your belongings because American Storage is equipped with 24-hour video surveillance and a computer-controlled entry system to ensure the safety and security of you and your property.
Back here live on the S&J Signs Pregame Show as the Cheyenne South High Bison will take on the Central Indians. And I believe we're getting ready for the national anthem to be performed by the Central High Marching Band.
Yes, we are, Steve.
Just a moment of silence for all of you fans out there listening to the game.
Fine rendition of our national anthem by the Central High Band, and now the captains are taking the field for the coin toss. We'll let you know how that goes now. South, what a treat to the eye this game. The Central High in their home red shirts, white pants trimmed in black with the flat black helmets. Sharp uniforms for Central with the black stripes on the shoulders. Of course, South in their Bison black and gold, black pants, white shirts, gold helmets. So it's going to be a visual treat. These two teams, the uniforms, cool on both ends. So that's one thing to look for in the game. And they're at midfield now to toss up that coin and see what's going to transpire to start the game.
So while they're doing that, let's go ahead and give our keys to the game, Steve, our stampede to victory for the South High Bison tonight. First thing, and we talked about this last week, you got to take care of the ball. I said that last week. We had 4 turnovers, and that was after the rain. So the field wasn't as wet as it is right now because it's drizzling right now. So it is a very important factor in this game to take control of the ball, win the turnover battle. Second stampede to victory, Steve, control the clock. And what I mean by the control of the clock is Central's got the explosive wide receivers. So you've got to control the clock with your running game. Take nice long drives, but when you get those nice long drives, finish the drives. And the third stampede to victory, penalties. No stupid penalties tonight, Steve, right?
Absolutely. Does appear, looked like they were talking to South. Looks like South won the toss and elected to receive the football. Central chose to defend the east goal, so South will defend the west goal when we get started here. And we are just narrowing down and tick-tocking to the game time here. The 0-1 Central Indians against the 0-1 South Bison. Central now storming the sidelines with a big sledgehammer from the first guy through. So they're actually looking like they're going to bring their lunch pails and go to work kind of attitude for the Indians in this game.
Doesn't surprise me. Central, like I said, they're a storied football program. They're gonna give their best no matter who they're playing. And even though Central doesn't look at us as their crosstown rival, this is a rivalry match. We're still in the same city, so that for South it's more of a rival, but for Central, it's still bragging rights. So South's really got to get on, Steve.
A couple things we want to do. We want to send out a shout-out to our good buddy Chad Whitworth, AD here at Central, for giving us accommodations here to call the game and bring it your way. One thing we will kind of warn you fans about in advance is this is a single unit press box. There is a local radio in the press box. There will be coaches in the press box along with the stadium announcer all in one room. So if you hear the background chatter, that's it. The other thing, too, you're not going to get the accustomed Steve and Allan him, of course, Marquez Jefferson, 105 yards. He's the fifth-ranked runner in the state. He only had 105 last week. The two wideouts for South, the junior, number 2, Michael DeBryan, and the other junior who had a big week last week, number 15, Riley Habercorn. And that's the starting offense for South. On defense, the best we come up with for Central, we've got most of them here. Not by position, but they'll start a senior, number 4, Cooper Mirich, another senior, number 5, Dawson Edwards, and a senior, Kyle Alexander, number 6. Also, Tate Montgomery will start in the defensive backfield. He's a senior. He wears number 10. He's a good one. Other defensive starters for Central, a junior, number 47, T.J. Wiltinger. Colton Borm, you've heard that name a lot over the last 3 years here at Central. He's number 52. He'll start on defense along with Tucker Frederick, a junior, number 54. Justin Kostelecki, he is a senior wearing 74, and Tyler Almquist, a senior wearing 89, the likely starters. And we're teed up and about ready to get this thing underway. Michael DeBryan and Marquez Jefferson will start back deep for the East Thunderbirds. Or, excuse me, the South Bison. What am I thinking about?
We do apologize for the reflections in the mirror in the window while we're doing the broadcast. They don't have windows that open up here, so we got to broadcast through the window here.
Number 16, Hayden Humphrey, teeing it up for the Indians, and we are ready to get underway with high school football here on 1112 BISN. Again, DeBryan and Jefferson deep to receive. The left footer boots a line drive down the field, and it'll just roll into and out of the end zone. It'll be a touchback. 1st and 10 Bison. They'll start at their own 20-yard line.
Yeah, I think that's a safe thing to do, what Marquez did right there. It was a bouncy ball. With the ball being as slick as it is, Steve, you don't really want to take that risk of trying to pick up a ball like that.
So it'll be 1st and 10 South with the first possession there, working left to right across your computer screen if you're not able to watch. And they'll come out, split receivers, 1 to each side, and, of course, the I backfield. First give straight ahead is Niebuhr, nothing doing.
Who made the tackle there for Central? Looks like it was big 74, wasn't it?
Yep, no gain there for Niebuhr. Number 4, Cooper Mirich with the tackle. Again, split a receiver to each side, I formation. This time Jefferson off tackle to the right. He's got a few yards, but he is hit by number 5 and number 47. So Dawson Edwards and T.J. Wiltinger give him 4 yards on the carry and make it 3rd and 6.
That was a nice run by Marquez there. He hit the hole quick. He wasn't trying to break it. He got the hard yards. And, I mean, it's 3rd and 6. It's 3rd and long, but you know what? It's better than 3rd and 10.
Yeah. 3rd and 6 more manageable than 3rd and 10. Twin receiver split left, I formation. To pass. He's got a man. It's almost intercepted by Central. Woo! That was a pick 6 written all over it if he hangs on to it. And for Central on the play, Kyle Alexander, and South will have to punt.
Well, what number is Alexander? That's
6.
Number 6.
Looks like that Austin just couldn't get a nice grip on the ball. The ball came out kind of like a duck. He had the guy open. Just didn't put enough zip on it.
So Tate Montgomery and Alexander back deep for South. Soder to punt. Soder, looks like he almost got it partially blocked, and Montgomery's going to chase it back all the way to the 25-yard line, and say we had a piece of jersey, and South trying to stretch it out, and Tate Montgomery's still going with the ball, but South finally chases him down and knocks him out for a 5-yard gain. Jake Brown finally tackles him down after Montgomery did a heck of a job there. So 1st and 10 Central from the 30. So 26 and 25, 51 yards on the punt.
How many yards on that return? I mean,
5 yards on the return. Picked it up at the 25 and got back to the 30. And so 1st and 10 Central. They're going to huddle on the sideline and bring the team out onto the field. Mitchell Bell is their starter in the backfield, I believe. And number 9 gets to start at quarterback. That's much more. Much more. We'll give Bell right side. He's got a little bit of room, but Marquez Jefferson's going to run him out of bounds. But not before Bell gains 4 on first down, so 2nd and 6.
But I tell you what, he got to the edge a lot easier than I was expecting him to get there, Steve. And that's not a good sign when they're attacking the edge like that and they're getting 4 or 5 yards of chunk. Now, granted, this was only the second play of the game. I mean, the first play of the game for Central, but still, he got to the edge really quick there.
2nd down and 6 now for the Indians. Much more under center. Mitchell Bell, the single back. He'll try the left side this time, and he'll be wrapped up by Sawi and cleaned up by number 58, but not before he gets up across the 40. Give him 6 yards and a first down.
But I'll tell you what, Sawi able to hold on to him and might make it a 3rd and short, but instead he unable to corral him down, makes it a first down. And Mitchell Bell, man, he's a hard runner.
Central right back to the line now. 1st and 10, ball at their own 40. Much more under center, single back. They are double tight on the line and got a split receiver, single each side.
Boy, the middle of our defense is wide open.
Now the pass, much more. He's got a man at the 55, and
Riley Habercorn.
Habercorn makes the tackle on number 6, Alexander, but not before he gets 6 yards. So 2nd down and 4 for Central.
Much more's pass is complete. Number 6, Kyle Alexander. Brought down by number 15.
So 2nd down and 4 now. Twin receivers near side. Much more. Fakes it to Bell. Rolls. Throws. He's got a man, but it's in and out of the hands of Tate Montgomery in South Territory. Number 18 on the coverage, Brendan Nelson for South.
Well, I tell you what, if Nelson was paying attention, that ball went right through his hands. He could have tried to at least tiptoe an interception on that,
So they'll bring up 3rd down and 4 now for the Indians. And they talked about wanting to air the ball out a little more, and we've seen that in this first drive. They're not going to be afraid to put the ball in the air. Twin receivers near side. The single back is Mitchell Bell, sophomore.
Ooh.
He looked like he's lined up offsides, but he got back.
Yes, he did.
Pass again. This time he's going to be wrapped up, and Muchmore is going to be sacked for a loss.
That's
Give Sawi
the
sack. And he's going to lose all the way back to the Central 38.
That's an 8-yard loss.
So that is 8-yard loss on the play. Bring up 4th down and 12 for Central. Great play up the middle by Sawi.
Boy, he got in there untouched, Steve. Who's punting the ball for Central?
Looks like
Dawson Edwards, number 5.
So DeBryan, he's going to let it roll. Oh, boy, and he's going to let it roll all the way inside the South 10-yard line. Central's going to have South pinned deep at the 8. So 12 and 42, 54 on that punt.
Well, South's really got to do something offensively now. You had the right idea in the first series. Now that you got the pregame jitters out of the way, it's time to do something special here, Steve. You held Central to a punt on their first offensive series. Now, granted, you're deep in your own end zone, in your area of the field. You got to do something.
To pass, Barker. He's got a man. It's Mike DeBryan, and he'll get tackled by number 2 and number 10, but not before he gets out across the 15.
Number 2, Michael DeBryan.
See where they mark it.
Actually,
they're going to give him all the way up to 20. Call it 11 yards on the reception. 1st and 10 for South. So South comes right out and gets themselves out of that deep hole.
Well, I tell you what, Barker saw the distance that the DB was giving to Bryan. He hit him on that quick slant, man. That was nothing. There was nobody there to catch him.
Single back's Niebuhr. Niebuhr's got a little bit of room, but he's drugged down by 47 after a short gain.
Looks like about a gain of 4.
Actually, they're going to give him 5 yards on that gain. So Wiltinger with the tackle. And 2nd and 5. And South couple positive plays, and now Jake Brown's going to check into the game. He'll see his first offensive action. Barker breaks the huddle. He'll send one receiver each side. And I formation. Central is some movement up front. Gives to Jefferson. Jefferson had a little bit of hole, but closed nicely there by the Central Indians.
Looks like the safety made the tackle on that one.
74 had a piece of him. I'm not sure who to credit the tackle to, but
I'm going to say number.
Give Marquez 4 yards. 3rd and 1. Harbaugh with the tackle.
What number is he? Number 2.
Jacob Carbaugh. That's a kid we coach.
That's our former player there. Huh?
That a baby.
Former junior Bison there, Jacob Carbaugh, right?
Jefferson again. Jefferson, he gets away, and Jefferson's still on the move. He's going to be knocked out of bounds. Not before
There's
he gets
the flag.
The flag comes.
That was
looks like a late hit. Number 4 was the one who made the last hit, Cooper Mirich.
Hit him about 2 yards outside of the.
Let's see where they.
How many yards did they give him?
So it looks like they gave him with the carry up to about the 37. So
that's about an 8.
Give about 8 yards on the carry. But that'll move South down close to midfield now. Actually, it'll move them into Central territory to the Central 47-yard line. So the Bison in business here. 7:12 to go, first quarter, no score.
Jacob Carbaugh. That's a yellow jacket, former yellow jacket of ours.
Excuse me, mental mistake by the Indians there. Now, fake the give. Barker to throw. And that's just wet ball syndrome. He looks like he was going for DeBrine, but ball slipped out of his hands and didn't get anywhere close.
Well, I'll tell you what, he had DeBrine open too. DeBrine had that comeback, and he was right there. The defender was about a yard off of him. That would have been a nice 5-6 yard gain if he could have got the ball to him.
Bring up 2nd and 10 for the Bison. Ball at the Central 47. Jake Brown checks out, and Kelly Niebuhr back in at the fullback position for the Bison. Single receiver splits to each side. They'll come out quickly, I formation. Barker gives to the second guy through Jefferson, and he is just met.
Number 4 tackles him.
4. And he's Cooper Mirich getting his name on the stat sheet. 2-yard loss there for Jefferson. That'll bring up 3rd down and 12.
Well, right now with where they're at in the field, Steve, you kind of won the battle of field position. You flop the field on them, so you don't just settle for an easy play here. You want to try to get the first, but worst case scenario, Steve, is you're going to flip the field position and make Central work from deep in their side of the field.
Twin receivers split wide to the top. They're going to have the throwback. Dillsaver. Dillsaver's got some room. Dillsaver across the 40, 35, 30, and down inside the Central 30.
Nice.
Big gain for Shane Dillsaver there.
Well, I'll tell you what, number 4 for Central had to come back and grab him.
22 yards on the reception to Dillsaver. 1st and 10 South, and they're really in business now at the Central 27-yard line.
Well, that was kind of one of those, he faked it one way, screened it back to the other way, and Steve almost fell down in the press box. That would have been kind of funny, actually.
1st and 10 Bison, Central 27. Love that little throwback pass. I formation. The give, straight ahead, Jake Brown. He's going to try to move the pile. Boy, he's still on his feet. The pile's still moving. And he's got a heck of a gain there. 52 is the last guy getting up off the pile. So we're going to say Colton Bourne, give him credit for the tackle, but not before Brown
gets 5 yards on that.
Give him about 4 on the play.
Well, yeah, you could have given Central, you could have given an assist to every single person on the defense there. He carried everybody.
I formation pitch.
Jefferson's there. He's got to run.
Jefferson's trying to get to the right. He cuts it back up, and
did I see a flag fly?
He got some yards on the play. There is a flag down.
Yeah.
And they're going to have a holding call. So that's unfortunate there because Jefferson had gained down to about the 22-yard line, but they're going to go spot foul holding. The flag lays at the 27, so they'll probably move the ball to the 37 and make it 2nd and 20.
That's such a I mean, that actually turns out to be like.
There's a lot of opportunities for holding when you stretch a play like that, clear to the sideline. It just gives a lot of opportunities for holding, and South got caught, and it is going to go back to the 37, so it's a 10-yard penalty for South. It's actually technically a 19-yard penalty.
Technically.
He was down close to about the 19-yard line, but second down 20 now, South at the Central 37. Twin receivers near side. Barker to throw. Barker under pressure. Barker is going to take off and run with it. He's going to make some room, and boy, what a great play by Barker to gain. Looks like the 23-yard line, 14 yards on the carry.
It's Barker.
So Barker's all the way down to the 23, give him 14 on the carry, and make it third down and 6. Central had good pressure on the play, but Barker was able to sneak through and now make it a manageable third down. Barker out of the shotgun, and flags on the play. They're stopping it. So generally that means a defensive penalty. No movement on South. So they'll go back 5, shooting themselves in the foot here on this with penalties.
This is what we did against Evanston last week. We get a drive going, then all of a sudden penalty.
Takes it back to the 28. South probably in 4-down territory here. This will bring up third and about 11.
Yeah, you don't want to test, who's our place kicker?
Bryce Soder.
Don't want to test his leg right here in this kind of conditions.
Twin receivers to the right, I formation. Barker rolls. Barker throws. He's going long. He's got a man. Habercorn. Touchdown, Bison. Unbelievable catch by Riley Habercorn. 28 yards on the completion. Barker to Habercorn, and South draws first blood.
That was just an amazing catch. Over-the-shoulder catch by Riley Habercorn there to give South their first lead ever over the Central Indian football program. 6-0. I'll tell you what, that was just an amazing catch.
Soder in for the extra point. Wow, what a start by the Bison. The ball down, the kick up. It looks good, and it is. And South draws first blood here. 4:05 to go. First quarter, South leads the Central Indians 7-0. You're listening to high school football on 1112 BISN.
Your Bison Network.
This is number 46, Shane Dosaver from the South High Bison football team, and you're listening to the game on 1112 BISN, your Bison Network.
Have a package that you need shipped somewhere? Then visit American Storage and Postal. Not only will they custom pack your shipment, but they will also ship the package for you using UPS, FedEx, and USPS. But their service doesn't stop there. At American Storage and Postal, you can also rent mailboxes for personal or business use. They also offer other services such as fax, copying, and notary. Give American Storage and Postal a call at 307-635-9335. That's 307-635-9335. Or visit them at 1903 South Greeley Highway and tell them that 1112 BISN sent you.
Here's a call. Steve McDonald and Alan Cummings back from Risky Field here.
Well,
South,
I'll tell you what.
With a beautiful, 38-yard completion.
28-yard pass
from Austin Barker to Riley Habercorn. And
Habercorn split. He got behind the safety on that and was able to snag that in over the shoulder and just walk into the end zone, giving South a 7-0 lead over their northern crosstown rivals, Cheyenne Central, here at Risky Field.
So Alexander, Tate, Montgomery back deep. Soder's going to put the foot to it. High end over end kick. Montgomery at the 8. Tate across the 20, looking for room, and he's going to be swarmed under by a host of Bison there right at the 25-yard line. Number 3, Marquez Jefferson, wraps him up. They'll mark it right at the 25, so give him 17 yards on the return, and 1st and 10 for Central at their own 25.
Now, South's defense has got to keep the pressure on, Steve. They did a really good job their last series getting Central to punt the ball. Let's see if they can keep it going and kind of try to deflate the Indians here.
This time they give it to Montgomery on a jet sweep, and Shane Dilsaver got a hand on it, but he's going to be tackled by number 5 and number 54. He will gain a good amount of yards on the play. Give Montgomery 7 with the carry. 2nd and 3. Keyshawn Farmer and Nate Grossman in.
They're trying to utilize Montgomery's speed, and I'll tell you what, with as fast as he is, I don't blame him. Got to be able to set that edge, though. You got to watch that, especially when they're motioning to the quarterback. You got to set the edge.
This time it's Bell. He'll go to the right. Open. Oh, and Niebuhr had him, but he just let him get by, and Bell's going to have a great game. Keyshawn Farmer's going to make the tackle, but not before Bell gets up to the 45-yard line.
Well, that's a, 19-yard gain, 9-yard gain? 19-yard gain. 12-yard gain?
32 to the 45, 13 yards give him. Trips receivers near side. Bell again, the single back. Central on the move now, trying to answer. To pass. Much more goes deep, and that one is tipped up in the air.
Marquez Jefferson got up there and got a finger on it.
Actually, it was Brendan Nelson that deflected the pass. He should have intercepted it.
Oh, was it Nelson?
Yeah.
It looked like number 3, though.
Well, regardless, incomplete. That one could have been intercepted. So Central going to get right back to the line now. 2nd and 10. Ball at their own 45. Trips receivers near side. Bell, the single back for the Indians. Much more. We'll give to Bell. Bell go left, and great pursuit by Niebuhr there. Cut Bell back up. Looked like Bell was going to have some good yardage there, but Niebuhr cut him back to the middle of the field.
And Eagle Road.
And Andrew Eagle Road made the tackle. Only 2 there for Mitchell Bell.
Well, I'll tell you what, our defensive end got blocked inside, and I got a little worried there, Steve.
I tell you what, it looked like he had a lot of room, but
he really did.
Nice job by Niebuhr, and there's a flag.
It's going to be on South. Central's clapping their hands, so I think it's going to be encroachment on South, and it is.
Man, they hadn't even lined up to snap the ball or anything yet.
South with 3 penalties in the first quarter for 20 yards already.
So that's going to make it a 3rd and short now for Central.
You went from 3rd and long now to 3rd and short, and now Central, this is pretty much, you can do what you want here, you know. You've been hitting the edge really well. And
they had a big back, Wiltinger, in the backfield for Central. 2 receivers near side, 1 far side. Much more is going to give it to the big guy, Wiltinger. He's got the right side, and plenty more. 40, 30. He's down the sidelines. One guy to beat, and wow, a touchdown-saving tackle made by Niebuhr there. Wow. South is not setting an edge at all tonight.
Well, how many yards is that?
Wiltinger.
From the 47 to the 12.
35 on
yards.
the carry. And boy, if South don't set an edge sometime tonight, it could be a long night. Again, Wiltinger. Direct snap to Wiltinger. Wiltinger. And this time he's not going to get much. Shane Dillsaver is going to be first on the play there for South. And Wiltinger is going to not gain a lot there. Give him 4 yards.
Dillsaver.
2nd down, about 7 to go, much more. With, again, Wiltinger single back.
South's got to get a stop here. Hold
Pass play. He's got a man in and out of the hands of Alexander. And that'll bring up 3rd down now for Central.
This is a big 3rd down for South right here, man. Huge 3rd down for South.
Central has yet to huddle in this game. They look like a college system. They're holding up cardboard.
There's 1:43 left in the first quarter.
With the plays on them now. Let's see. 3rd down, about 6 to go.
No,
Wiltinger. Wiltinger, the single back.
Got to set the edge here. Watch that corner.
Much more. To pass. They're going to try the high pass. Oh, and what a catch there. Alexander right up over the top of Brendan Nelson, and touchdown Indians there. 9 yards on the completion from much more to Alexander, and Central an extra point away from tying this game.
What number is Alexander?
6.
He's number 6.
Number 16, Humphrey, for the extra point. He's a left footer. Puts it in and right down the middle. So, a minute 39 to go, first quarter. Central with an impressive drive. They go 75 yards to tie the game, and it's Cheyenne South 7, Cheyenne Central 7. You're listening to high school football on 1112 BISN.
Your Bison Network.
Question, why pay all that money for an expensive airbrush or paint job to get those custom graphics? Go see Randy Peterson at Custom Illusions to get those custom graphics put on through their hydro dipping process. From mild to wild, if it fits, it dips. And if you have any questions, give them a call at 634-DIP. That's 634-3477. Or stop in at 909 East Fox Farm Road, number 1. Custom Illusions, your hydro dipping and automotive specialist.
Got to give a shout out. Hey, I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors. Sponsors Capital Communications Incorporated, Dairy Queen, Custom Illusions, Misty Woods, Number One Properties, and of course Tri-State Veterinary Clinic, all for sponsoring 1112 BISN and South High Bison Athletics.com.
Jefferson and DeBrine deep for South. Humphrey to tee it up at the Central 40. Central goes 75 yards to match the South score, and it's 7-7 now, minute 39 to go. First quarter.
Well, they went 75 yards, and 35 of that came on one run.
So Humphrey will tee it up now. An entertaining ball game thus far. That time he'll get a little leg underneath it, and again, that'll just hit in the end zone and roll out for a touchback. South will take possession, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Well, I'll tell you what, South's been pinned down. They've been at their 20. They've been at their 13. They've been at their 20 or their 8. And so, you know, South's got to be able to manage the ball here and get some drives going.
1st and 10, Bison, ball at their 20.
1:39 left in the first quarter.
They'll send twin receivers far side I formation. And the fake. Barker rolls. Barker looks, throws, got the man, and it's DeBrine for... Boy, that's not a very good spot. It looked like he was up at the 24, but they're going to give him 3 yards to the 23. 2nd down and 7, but 3 yards on the completion. Barker to DeBrine.
Barker, 4 out of 6 for 64 yards right now passing in this game in the first quarter. Started off hot last week, too, in the first quarter against Evanston.
Split a receiver each side. I formation. Jefferson the D-back. Toss sweep right, and nothing doing there. And that play did not work on 3rd and goal last week, and it didn't work tonight.
Well, number 4 just came in.
Cooper Mirich, and he's been all over the field. That's a 3-yard loss and bring up 3rd down and 10. So toss sweep, not one of the stellar plays in the playbook thus far this season for South.
That's one of those runs right there where I honestly feel that Marquez should have just turned on the gas instead of trying to dance through the hole. Just turn on the gas. Get as many yards as you can because the hole was collapsing on him really quick, and then Mirich just came in and cleaned it up. So
Barker rolls. Barker sets. Barker fire. Looking long. He's got a man. It's caught! Unbelievable! Inside the 20, 15, and it's Michael DeBrine all the way down to the 12-yard line.
Who made that touchdown-saving tackle? There's a foul on Michael DeBrine for taunting. Stupid penalty.
That's just a
That's going to be a stupid penalty.
Dumb move there.
Who made that touchdown-saving tackle?
No, I didn't see who made the tackle.
Number 5? Number 2 did.
Jacob Carbaugh. But not before the play goes 30, 40, 50, 68 yards on the reception. But we're going to go back 15 because we had to get a little mouthy. And that's an undisciplined play there. South's still going to be in decent possession.
Gosh, I'll tell you what, man. That's just not a very, very smart play. You know, that's his inexperience right there. You get up, you're excited. You just had a 68-yard pass, and now you got to get some of that back, get closer.
Ooh, Farmer just gets lit up.
And there's a flag on the play right there.
It looks like Wiltinger just absolutely lit him up. There's a flag on the play. Don't know what this is going to be about. Keyshawn gets stuck. Wow, who was holding? No one held the guy that made the tackle. That's for dang sure.
Now, are they going to take the penalty or are they going to take the loss of yards there?
You'd probably take the loss of yards, make it 1st and 20, I would think, but we'll see. Drew
Take the penalty, you mean?
Yeah, take the penalty, make it 1st and 20. But wow, Keyshawn Farmer, welcome to Varsity 4A football.
And they're pushing him back.
So spot foul.
It's going to be a 10-yard penalty.
They're going to step it off to the 37 and make it 1st and 20. This is kind of like deja vu. The big holding penalty on the last play, and then South scored the touchdown shortly after. So let's see what happens here. 1st and 20.
45 yards of penalties on South right now. 5 penalties in the first quarter alone. Central with 1. Come on, man.
Start the clock. To give Farmer this time, he's going to have a little more room, but he meets his friend Wiltinger again.
Yeah, he spotted
give him
right at
3 yards on the carry. So that'll make it 2nd and about 17, maybe 18.
Number 47 with the tackle.
Keyshawn's going to go out and
17 seconds left in the first quarter. Scores tied, 7-7. We had the ball all the way down till a unsportsmanlike conduct penalty after a 68-yard pass by Austin Barker to Michael DeBryan.
And South not going to get a playoff, so that'll do it here for the first quarter of action from Risky Field. The score after 1, yeah, you're hearing it right. South's in the ball game. It's Cheyenne Central 7, Cheyenne South 7. We'll switch sides and come back with second quarter action. You're listening to high school football on 1112 BISN.
Your Bison Network.
When you sell your home, there's a lot to worry about. Is your home priced right? Is it being marketed properly? With Misty Woods from Number One Properties, not only will she make sure that your home is priced accurately based on market value, but she will also ensure all potential buyers are aware of your listing. With her personal and professional marketing of each listing, you can rest easy by leaving all the big details to her. Visit Misty at mistywoods.com. That's MISTIE woods.com to learn more about what Misty can do for you. So start taking all of that stress away from selling your home by visiting mistywoods.com or call her at 307-214-7055. Misty Woods and Number One Properties, expertise and friendly service is just a click or a phone call away.
Hello, Bison.
Back here live from Risky Field, Cheyenne Central home opener. And it's Cheyenne South with the ball to start the second quarter. They are at the Central, just inside the 35-yard line, second and looks like about 19 to go. Call it 18. I formation South. Barker to pass. But here's the screen. Nicely set up. Jefferson is going to be all the way down inside the 20 to about the
Boy,
that's close to a first down. Let's see where
down.
they mark it. Looks like they're putting it down to 16.
That should be a first down.
And it is a first down for South. So give him 20 yards on the reception, on the screen, beautifully set up there. And now South in business, 1st and 10, ball at the 17.
I'll tell you what, he had 158 yards passing in 4 quarters last week. He's got 152 right now, just starting the second quarter.
Do we have a 300-yard passing game here? He'll pass again. He'll throw outside, and that one, had a chance to be picked off. Tate Montgomery on the coverage. Looking for DeBryan. That pass was short, and it'll bring up second down and 10.
Number 10, Tate Montgomery on the coverage.
This lady out front has a car with their lights on. She's driving. We can help.
Do you want her to come in?
Second down.
I formation now. Give the second guy through. Jefferson has a hole. Jefferson inside the 10, 5, and he's going to get in. Touchdown, Bison. Marquez Jefferson from 16 yards out. And touchdown, Bison, and they take a lead 13-7. So Bison overcoming a couple of costly penalties on 2 separate drives to score on the Central Indians, and with 11:34 to go, Soder comes in.
That was a nice run by Jefferson there, I'll tell you what.
Attempt to tie the game. Low snap. Kick is up. Wow, did he knuckle that through? Nope, no good. I wonder who was snapping that.
Oh, that's a costly.
Ooh, I don't see 68, thank God.
Costly missed extra point there. But, hey, you know what? South has the lead once again, 13-7.
So let's keep it right here in the break. 11:34 to go in the impressive drives in the game, and they're up 13-7. But that missed extra point could come back to cost this football team in the end.
Yeah, it could really come back to cost the football team. You know, you never want to miss the freebies, I guess you can call it. Last week, we missed an extra point against Evanston. Now, granted, that one really didn't have much bearing on the game because, well, we could have sent the game into overtime. You know, if we
could
get
the
down
field
and
goal,
kick the field goal. But Sal's defense got to reply, Steve. They got to come back and make a stop. Last time we scored, you know, Central kind of walked down the field on us with that big 35-yard run, and now South's got to kind of get a little stiffer here defensively and make sure they don't give up anything easy to Central.
So Montgomery and Alexander will go deep for Central. Central working from west to east now, left to right across your computer screen.
Soder 13-7
has it teed up. Soder puts foot to it. That's a high kick. It's going to drop at about the 15. It's going to be picked up there by Montgomery. Looking for a seam. He's got a little bit of room. They better close it. And Soder, the kicker,
Soder just
bulldogs him to the ground at the 36-yard
Soder
line.
just smoked the kid, man.
So 26 yards on the return, and Central will start in decent field position.
How long of a kick was that?
10, 40, 50. 50 yards on the kick. 26 on the return, and here come the Indians to the line quickly. Have not seen them huddle yet tonight, and now we've got a new quarterback. Brock Anderson will get under center. Mitchell Bell is the single back, and Sal, let's see what they could do to slow down the Central offense. To give. Off tackle. Wow, Eagle Road wraps up Mitchell Bell. And they're going to give Mitchell maybe a yard on the carry. Call it 2nd and 9. Great play there by Eagle Road.
Well, Eagle Road just kind of got off his block, and there he was right there. He just wrapped him up.
So Anderson, again, the new quarterback for Central. He'll get under center. Mitchell Bell is the lone setback. Anderson to throw. Anderson throws up kind of a wobbler. It's intercepted! Mike DeBryan intercepts the ball. And Tate Montgomery has to turn to defender and make the tackle there. And 1st and 10, Bison. Nice interception by Mike DeBryan, who's putting together a heck of a game.
Boy,
South
he
will
is.
take possession at their 32.
Yes, he is. And I'll tell you what, Michael DeBryan saw that play, and he kind of like did a decoy kind of defensively, kind of laid off, made it look like the Montgomery was going to get behind him, and he turned on the jets and just undercut that pass and was able to pick it off.
So South with the 6-point lead and the ball at their own 32-yard line. This time, they've got a full house backfield. Niebuhr didn't know what he was doing. He wasn't set.
Oh, he's got a guy wide open.
There's Habercorn. He's got the pass to the 40, 30, down to the 25. And what a big mistake by the officials. Niebuhr was not even set. He was walking around the backfield with his hands up in the air wondering what to do. 18, 28, 38, and 41 on the completion. And South in business again at the Central 27, 1st
Well, I
and 10.
tell you what, Austin Barker just broke the record for passing yards at South High history. He's got 193 yards passing, and there's still 10 minutes left in the first half, Steve.
High formation, Jake Brown, Jefferson. Oh, boy. And Aaron Smith jumps early for the Bison. So here we go again. Get down in good position and start committing penalties.
Penalties.
They've overcome 2 of them, but you just don't want to keep doing that over and over. 1st and 15.
That's our 6th penalty just in the first half, Steve. We had 9 in the game last week. We've got 6 in the first half, and there's still 11 minutes left pretty much.
So the I formation, Barker quickly to the line. Jefferson with the give. He's looking for some room up the middle. And he'll pick up a few. Number 4, Mirich on the tackle.
That Mirich is just a monster. All of his tackles have been solo tackles, and he's the safety, isn't he?
Yeah. Or probably linebacker, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Looks like they gave him about only 2 on the carry, so 2nd and 13 or so. I formation again. Barker to pass.
Wide open.
He's got DeBryan coming on the cutter. DeBryan had 1 man to beat, but athletic play by Montgomery to take him down all the way down to the 20-yard line.
Let me guess. There's going to be a penalty on South. Ineligible man
receiver
downfield.
downfield, so I don't know how when Barker takes 1 step back and throws a quick out, how you can have a guy get downfield. How does he even have time to get downfield? So nullify the completion there, and South will continue to hurt themselves with penalties.
I mean, that's generally a 5-yard penalty.
So here's a 5-yard penalty. Take it back to the 35-yard line.
7th penalty on South.
So 2nd down and 18. South's been here before, though, in Central Territory with a 2nd and long.
You know, how does it become 2nd down and 18? That's a spot foul. Ineligible man downfield. That was 2nd and 10, Steve.
It was 2nd and 13 to start.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, been a 5-yard penalty. So
how was it 2nd
and 18?
How was it 2nd and 13?
There's a timeout on the field. There was 2nd and 13 to start that play.
Well,
so there's a timeout on the field. Don't know who called it. 10:07. 10:07 to go. 13-7. South Quick Station ID on 1112 BISN.
Fans, this is Steve McDonald, voice of the South High Bison. Do you need a full-service real estate expert? Then visit Misty Woods from Number One Properties. Whether you are buying or selling, her expertise and understanding of the local market can make your real estate transaction a success. Visit www.mistywoods, that's M-I-S-T-I-E woods.com, to learn about her services.
Here we are back live at Risky Field. 2nd and about 18 now for South. Just absolutely killing themselves with penalties here.
55 yards and penalties for South in the first half.
Barker to throw. Barker. He's got Jake Brown. Oh, almost made a beautiful one-handed catch, but it was just over the outstretched hand of Brown, and now 3rd and 18. Now, South not afraid to put the ball in the air tonight.
Boy, they're not. Well, you know, Central's pass defense was suspect last week against Centrona, so why not test it? And I'll tell you what, he's 193 yards in the air in the first quarter, in the first half, and they found the weakness, but they've just got to quit shooting themselves in the foot with penalties, Steve.
So twin receivers far side, I formation, Brown and Jefferson. And they're going to give big Jake Brown, give right up the middle. And Jake's still carrying
and he
Central,
fumbles.
but he fumbles it. And, boy, is that a turnover there? And it is. Central's pretty excited about it.
I don't know. His forward progress was stopped.
I don't know what they're calling here.
They're going to call it a turnover. I mean, his forward progress was stopped, though. Even Coach Pugh's out there saying his forward progress was stopped. How can you call that a turnover when he's hit and bounced back 3 yards backwards?
So I wasn't able to see who recovered it, but Central will take over off the Jake Brown fumble. And it's 1st and 10 Indians.
How many yards
35.
did he get? Just 1 yard on that?
He didn't really get anything on the carry.
Who recovered that fumble? Did you guys see that?
Did you guys see who recovered the fumble?
Wiltinger with the fumble recovery. And now the give Wiltinger in at back, and he's not going to have much there. Niebuhr, 24, on the tackle along with 54. Grossman give 2 yards on the carry to Wiltinger. 2nd down and 8. Now Bell is in the game for Central. They have twin receivers far side and a split out near side.
Well, South just wasted a perfect opportunity to go up 2 scores on Central.
Much more back in the game at quarterback after Anderson takes one series and throws an interception. Fakes the give. He throws over the middle. He's got a man, and that'll be number 20 on the reception. Looks like about 13 yards on the carry. Paul Shepard. And 1st and 10 right at midfield for Central.
Brought down by number 46.
Clock. So 1st and 10 Central. South just absolutely killing themselves with turnovers, penalties. Now Jefferson pressures Muchmore. Muchmore's going to have to tuck it down and run, and he's going to be tackled, form tackle by Kelly Niebuhr. He's going to get about 3 yards on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7. And if the kids are watching at home, that is the way to make a tackle in open field.
Boy, that is how you make an open field tackle there. That was a great open field tackle. Should be 2nd down and 7.
So trips receivers to the left, single to the right. Muchmore under center. Muchmore. The give to Bell. Bell's got some room, and wow. You got Grossman and Niebuhr there, and they just let Marquez Jefferson make the play. The smallest guy and the 2 big guys had a chance to get him. 5 yards for Bell and bring up 3rd and 2, but if Grossman would have met him and wrapped him up, might not have got that many. So again, same formation, trips left,
big
single receiver to the right. Bell by himself in the backfield, and Muchmore is going to get up under center. Muchmore, quick pass, tries to go over the top. He's got a man, Alexander, and he can't hold it. Oh, and he was open, and that had 6 written on it.
Oh, boy, it did.
But
oh, boy, it did.
Could not wrangle it in. And now decision time for Central as they're at the South 42 with a 4th and 8. And, boy, it looks like they're going to go for it here.
You're on their side of the field. You've been moving the ball quite well on them. I don't see why you don't try to go.
They put Wiltanger, the bigger back, in. And let's see what Muchmore does. 4th and 2 for Central. Muchmore, Wiltanger. Whoa, looks like he's going to have it depend on the spot.
Andrew Eagle rode with the stop there, but I think it was a little too much.
And McHenry also in on the play. And 1st down Indians as they get it just across the 40. So the first gamble of the game goes to the Indians, and they are successful with it. 1st and 10 Central. 8 minutes, 12 seconds to go, and the clock will wind as Central has 1st and 10 just inside the South 40. Muchmore, again under center. 2 tight ends in the formation, single setback, and twin receivers on the far side.
Boy, South's really missing that presence, Jake Brown in the middle. I mean, yeah, he's played some offense, but he was able. That's the 2nd time out by Central.
And so Central will call timeout. Let's take one with them. South leads 13-7 here in the 2nd quarter. You're listening to high school football, 11-12 BISN.
Your Bison Network.
Are you a high school student that has received an academic, athletic, music, or any other type of high school letter? If you are, then bring your letter and your letterman's jacket to A Stitch in Life, located at 1024 East Pershing Boulevard, and have them sew that patch onto your letterman's jacket for you. Specializing in sewing, tailoring, and embroidery, A Stitch in Life will bring your letterman's jacket to life. Give A Stitch in Life a call at 307-426-5009 or visit them at 1024 East Pershing Boulevard and let them know 1112 BISN sent you.
So we are back here at Risky Field. 2nd quarter action, 7:49 to go in the half. Central trails the Bison 13-7. South, you've heard that right, does have the lead midway through the 2nd quarter. And Central with 1st and 10. They are moving the ball there in south side of the field, just inside the 40. Oh, and somebody left early there for Central. And that's going to be Montgomery. Looked like a AFL football play. He had about a 5-yard running start before the ball was snapped. So you could do that in arena football, but not here in high school.
That's only the 2nd penalty on Central this game, Steve. That's 20 yards in penalties for Central.
Yeah, they played a discipline game.
Yes, they have.
So 1st and 15 now. Trip receivers to the left side. And Mitchell Bell, I believe, yes, it is Mitchell Bell, single back. Much more. Throws outside. He's got Montgomery. Montgomery's got speed. He just needs a seam. And, wow, that's a great play for Central there. Tate and Montgomery. Mike DeBrine finally brings him down, but big gainer for the Indians there. From the 45 all the way down to the 28-17 on the reception. The clock will roll, 7:40 and counting. 1st and 10 Central. Mitchell, the single back, now in motion. There was 2 guys in motion at the same time. Can't do that either. Montgomery and Alexander were both in motion coming toward each other. And there's a procedure penalty there. So that'll back them up 5 to the 33. So Central getting creative with their offense here on this drive. So call it 1st and 15 now, Indians.
You know, South hasn't put much pressure up the middle lately. You know, the one time they did, we got that sack.
So Muchmore will take it, and he's going to drop the throw. Rhett throws it high. Was intended, I believe, for Alexander.
Keyshawn Farmer defends it.
But it was well over his head, and that'll bring up 2nd down and 15. So, again, Central has yet to huddle tonight. It looks like the Oregon Ducks holding the big cards up on the sideline with the color schemes, and that apparently is letting them know what they're going to run. Now, Muchmore rolls to his right. He's going to look over the middle. He's got a man this time. Alexander, that time he hauls it in, and that's a touchdown.
That's going to be a
33-yarders. Rhett Muchmore to Alexander, Kyle Alexander, and now Central an extra point away from taking the lead here.
Well, that's the 2nd touchdown reception of this game, Steve.
So who would have thought that the offenses would be the story tonight, both of them, as Central is an extra point away off the left foot of Humphrey
taking the lead.
From taking a 1-point lead. And the left footer is true. And with 7:05 to go until halftime, Central regains the lead on the home opener for the Indians. It's Central 14, South 13. And you're listening to high school football on 1112 BISN.
Your Bison Network.
This is number 46, Shane Dosaver from the South High Bison football team, and you're listening to the game on 1112 BISN, your Bison Network.
Is your home beginning to look like an episode of Hoarders on the A&E Network? Then head over to American Storage and Postal. With 555 storage units ranging from 5x10 to 12x42, they'll have the right size unit that fits your needs. American Storage also has warehouse units with heat, phone, and power. No need to worry about the security of your belongings because American Storage is equipped with 24-hour video surveillance and a computer-controlled entry system to ensure the safety and security of you and your property. So before the clutter pushes you out of your house, call American Storage at 307-635.
American Storage and Postal, our halftime show sponsor there. And now DeBrine and Jefferson deep, and it's going to be a short kick, fielded about the 15 by DeBrine, and he is going to be wrestled down at the 25.
Nice little 10-yard return, even though he had a running start.
Looked like Mitchell Bell and maybe Grayson Wojcicki. And so give him 11 on the return, 1st and 10 South, ball just outside their own 25-yard line. Twin receivers to the left, that's Brendan Nelson and Mike DeBrine. The pass is DeBrine, and he's got it over the middle, and he's going to be tackled there by number 2 with a little help from number 16, but not before. He gets the ball for a 12-yard, call it a 13-yard completion there, up to the 38, 1st and 10 South.
206 yards passing.
The clock will roll, 6:54 and counting.
For Austin.
So now South will come out ace formation here. And Barker will keep it. Barker's got some room to the outside across the 40. He's going to be chased out of bounds by number 2, but not before he gets a nice little gainer there up to about the 44. Give him 6 on the carry and make a 2nd and 4. Nice design play there. They split an ace formation, twin receivers each side, and just let Barker use his athleticism.
Barker had to take his take something off. I wonder if it was a sleeve or something.
So 2nd down and 4. And South has been
we've been moving the ball on them.
Pretty impressive offensively.
We've just been shooting ourselves in the foot with penalties.
I formation. 2nd back through, Keyshawn. Keyshawn avoids one tackle. He gets to the outside. Keyshawn is going to look for the 1st down, but wow, great defensive play there.
It's going to get 3.
Boy, it looked like number 5's the one who made the play there, Dawson Edwards. And, boy, that's a 1st down saving play. So Farmer's going to get 3 yards, but
what number made the tackle?
I had number 5, but I'm not sure. So 3rd down and 1, big play here for South.
Huge play for South. Is Big Jake Brown in?
This is a Jake Brown special if ever there were one.
Nope.
But he's not in the game. They're going to give it to Niebauer, though. And he looks like he got it. He does. He falls forward to midfield. And number 4, Mirich, again with the play there. But we're going to give Niebauer 3 yards and a 1st down. And ooh, that's questionable. Give the smaller fullback the carry on 3rd and 1, but he got the job done. And 1st and 10 South, ball right at midfield, 5:44. Don't need to be in a hurry.
I kind of held my breath there, Steve.
Well, he was wrapped. Now I formation. Barker will throw on 1st down. Barker is just going to have to throw it away. He gets outside of the tackle box, so it will not be grounding. And he was under heated pressure there from number 89, I believe.
Well, you know, I think there was confusion on the pass route because you had 2 Bison in the same area, and they were kind of looking at each other like, what are you doing here, you know?
Almost looked like a screen the way that jail broke. Did anybody on that offensive line even block anybody at all? Almquist was the guy who looked like had him under pressure. 2nd and 10, I formation, quickly to the line. Barker, 2nd guy through is, I believe, is that still Keyshawn in the game? He's not going to get anything. That is Keyshawn. Bottom of the pile, guess who? Number 4, Mirich. 3rd and 10. So 3rd and 10, what do you dial up here? South has had success throwing the ball.
I'd throw it again. You know, look at the distance they're giving them off their receivers. I mean,
they'll do it. Rolls to his left. He's got a man, Jake Brown. Jake, ooh, down to about the 41. He's going to be close, probably about a yard short. And is this 4-down territory here? It'll be 4th and 1 for South. 4:38 to go. Jake Brown is in the game. Number 9 on the tackle. Much more. So what's South going to do here?
They're going to call a timeout. I think that's a smart thing.
Timeout Bison. So when we come back, 4th and 1 South at the Central 41. It's Central 14, South 13 on 1112 BISN.
Have a package that you need shipped somewhere? Then visit American Storage and Postal. Not only will they custom pack your shipment, but they will also ship the package for you using UPS, FedEx, and USPS. But their service doesn't stop there. At American Storage and Postal, you can also rent mailboxes for personal or business use. They also offer other services such as fax, copying, and notary. Give American Storage and Postal a call at 307-635-9335. That's 307-635-9335. Or visit them at 1903 South Greeley Highway and tell them that 1112 BISN sent you.
Let's talk about the X's and O's of family entertainment. Every parent in Wyoming knows the importance of being able to draw up an activity that'll get you out of the house for a couple of hours.
And that could be an invaluable tool for parents. 4th and 1. Here we go. South coming out of the timeout. And they're going to go Jake Brown at full. And Barker's going to sneak it, and I think he got across. Oh, boy, they're not getting a very good spot. Well, I thought he got it to the 40, but the officials are going to put the nose of the football right on the 40, and
that should be a first down.
Let's see. It should. They're going to call for a measurement. Now, I'm 2-0 on the season on these, and to me it looks like he has this. Looks like the chain is just short of the yard to gain, and the nose of the ball is on the white. So I'm thinking South got the first down there, but let's see.
Well, who do you give that tackle to? They're like
Can you give like a tenth of a defensive point to like 10 different guys? Let's see. I'm put the scopes on it. Well, I think they got it, but let's see.
I think they got it too, Steve. I really do.
And they do. First down, Bison off the Austin Barker sneak. Give him a yard on the carry. 1st and 10 South. And the drive will continue from the central 40-yard line.
Well, that's a huge first down for South because, first of all, it keeps your offense on the field. But that could be a momentum changer here. You know, Central got the momentum back on that last touchdown drive. That right there can be enough to get South that second win here in the second quarter and hopefully get something going here. You got speed on the outside of Brendan Ness and Michael DeBryan lining up. So
the clock will run 4 minutes or so. Now Jefferson. Jefferson cuts back, makes a nifty gain. Didn't look like he had much going there. And number 2 on the tackle there.
I saw number 89 helped him pull him down.
Yeah, 89 was a part of that as well. Give him 3 yards on the carry, 2nd and 7. So Jefferson was stuffed at the line of scrimmage. Didn't look like he had anything, and he just made an athletic move, spun off a tackle, and did what he could to salvage 3 yards. Positive direction for South. The twin receiver split each side in I formation. Barker. He's going to fake the give. Barker looking over the middle, and that should have been intercepted. Holy cow.
I don't know who he was throwing. I know he was throwing it to Shane Gilson.
Boy, Jacob Carbaugh had a gift-wrapped present hit him right in the hands, and he didn't hold it. Boy, that's a big break for South.
I think they had like 10 guys in coverage on that one. That's what it looked like.
They definitely had
they were rushing one and dropped 10 back into coverage.
Brendan Nelson and Mike DeBryan split right, and Barker again going to throw. Barker sets, throws. He's looking for it all, and that one, I don't know if he intentionally didn't intercept that or not, but again, Carbaugh on the coverage. Looked like he had a chance to intercept that, but he would have been about the 5-yard line, so maybe he just dropped it on purpose. That's going to bring up 4th down for South, and boy, probably 4-down territory here. I don't know if you want to really try to pin Central deep. Or,
I would. I'm sorry. With how they cut through our offense that last series, Steve.
And that's exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, I would punt it, try to pin them down somewhere within their own 10, and make them drive the field, especially when there's 3:17 left. Because now you flip the field position. If they don't get a first down, Steve, you're going to get good field position on their punt.
So Soder comes into the game. They did have an errant snap on a extra point earlier, so let's hope Nick gets the job done here. So South will punt it from the 37. Soder gets it cleanly, and he's going to angle it to the right. Oh, nice coffin corner. It looks like he got it inside the 10, and they're going to mark it right at the 10. So 27 yards on the punt, and Central will have 90 yards to go if they want to increase their lead here going into halftime.
Well, that missed extra point's just really looming large right now. Make sure you stay tuned for the American Storage halftime show as we go over stats for South and think about what we need to do to pull out a victory in the second half, Steve.
When we go to half, we'll take an extended 5 to 6 minute break, get some ad time going for our sponsors while Allan does some furious math. So give us a few at halftime. Refill your ice-cold cola, make a new fresh sandwich, and get yourself ready for second half action. So Central will take it from their own 10. They have 90 yards to go. Let's see how they come out here.
Once again, give a shout out to our sponsors, Tri-State Veterinary Clinics, Capital Communications Incorporated, and Benchmark Engineers.
Oh, it'll be Bell, and he's met by Nick Sawi in the backfield. That's going to be a loss of a couple on the play.
Mitchell Bell with the carry.
Only a yard loss, but So 2nd down and 11 now.
You know,
inside
Central,
3 minutes. Sorry, Allan.
Central only has 13 yards rushing this quarter, Steve, but their passing's just blown up. I mean, they have 63 yards passing in the quarter.
They're going to go up. It's going to be intercepted, Brendan Nelson. So much more floats one up in the air, and South right back in business. 11 yards on the pass, but Nelson intercepts it. And South will have it right at the 20-yard line. So, boy, Rhett Muchmore just floated that one up for grabs. And South is the benefactor.
Maybe it was a wet ball. But I don't know. I'll take it. I mean, because right now we're in the red zone, Steve, and we got to be able to pull something off.
I formation. Give. Jefferson. Off tackle right. He's going to have to. Oh, he sneaks through, and Marquez.
Oh, and he fumbled
nifty.
the ball.
But South recovers it. Wow, what a great play there. Nick Saywey all over the field, so give Jefferson 8 yards on the carry. 2nd down and 2, and wow. A little excitement in the central press box as the ball was on the turf there, but Nick Saywey
who made the tackle?
Saves South's dear life. There's Jefferson again. There's a flag thrown by the umpire, probably another holding.
Because, you know, South's been the only team that's held this whole game. I mean,
holy cow, what are we, 10-1 or something on penalties? Holy, they got to find out who's holding. So that'll back South up. Spot foul.
So that's going to make it 2nd and...
Make it 2nd and about 12.
2nd and 12, yeah.
Looks like. How many penalties is that for South? 8 or 9?
That's 8 penalties.
8 penalties on the Bison. I believe Central had the one.
No,
they had the 2.
They've got 3 penalties.
Oh, do they have
so
3?
far.
Okay, so the clock will run, minute 53 and counting. South 2nd and 12, ball at the Central 22. Twin receivers left, I formation. Barker, gonna roll. Barker steps up, looks. He has a man. And
touchdown!
Caught by South off the center.
They're saying
no!
You're kidding me!
Oh, I don't know what happened there.
You are kidding me!
Must have hit the turf.
Oh my goodness!
So DeBryan was there. It was deflected off Central. Looked like DeBryan had it, but must have hit the turf. And so that's going to bring up 3rd and 12. Wow, almost a fortunate play there for South. And they weren't able to capitalize. So 3rd down and 12.
That's the tip drill. You got to hold on to those, man. I mean,
now they're going to give Jefferson. Wow, there's no blocking at all there, as Central just swarms him. And the guy getting up off the bottom at the hold of his leg is 47, Wiltinger. No gain on the play. 4th and 12, so another decision here for South. We're under 50 to go.
Well, there's no wind. I don't see any wind on the field.
This would be about a 39-yarder if they decide to kick it. Why not?
He's going to wind it down
Give
as far
him a shot.
as he can go.
South has 2 timeouts left, I believe.
Yes, they do.
So it looks like South is going to wind this down and take a timeout. We're going to leave it right here. 24.8 seconds to go. Timeout South. So to reset the situation, South has the ball at the Central 22-yard line. It is 4th and 12. They trail by 1 point. Yeah, that's right. Central 14, South 13.
Well, I tell you what, we had the ball at the 12, and then once again, penalty. Penalty gets us, you know, and we're at 8 penalties so far in the first half, and we had 9 last week against Evanston, which were costly. And once again, we had it at the 12-yard line, which makes it a more makeable field goal, if not the first down into a touchdown. And now you're dealing with the 4th and 12 because you're just unable to hold on to a tip pass. I mean, that's the tip drill. The wind's at your back. The wind's at your back, so I go for it. But that's the tip drill. Hit him right in the hands after the tip, and he dropped it.
So South really with nothing to lose here, provided they don't get this thing blocked.
It's going to be a 38-yarder.
Schroeder's in the game, and he's putting the tee at the 30, at the 28. So, yeah, 38-yarder. 24.8. So if he makes this, South will have the lead.
Yeah, the wind's, I mean, it's kicking up, but it looks like it's actually
ball's down. The kick is up. Plenty of leg.
And
it's good. And South will take the lead 16-14 with 8.4 seconds left. 18.4 left, and nice snap, nice kick, and that's another weapon that South has added this year that they really haven't had in the past, the ability to make field goals from distance.
Well, I'll tell you what, 38-yard field goal gives you
So
a
I love the
14 lead.
Absolutely love the call. If you miss the field goal, Central's got 30 seconds and 80 yards to go. If you make it, you take the lead. Boy, what a big confidence boost for this Bison team if they can go in here at halftime with the lead. Now, they got to maintain lane integrity on the kickoff here.
Especially when you got
Tate Montgomery can go coast to coast
there and
breath of fresh air.
Yes, he can.
And I'm not sure. I'm telling him, hey, kick it at 6. Now, he's no slouch either, but I don't think he's a Tate Montgomery. So let's see what South does. 18.4 to go. Soder is going to kick a flat one, and Montgomery's going to field it at the 4. Tatum looking, cuts it back. He's quick. He's trying to get to the outside, and he does have some room. Bam! Spin move there, and Chris Smith, number 17, is finally going to wrestle him out. But, boy, sure took a long time, 13 seconds off the clock, and that'll give sense. So he took it at the 4 and got it to the – let's see where they're going to mark him out.
Looks like they're marking it right at the 40.
Tate Montgomery with the return.
36 yards.
Down by number 17, Chris Smith.
So 36 yards on the return. Central will have time for a play here.
Okay, so I would drop like 9 guys into coverage.
And South was kind of discombobulated. Their defense is walking over toward the side. Well, look, timeout.
There's a timeout.
By the Bison.
That's going to be their third and final timeout, Steve.
So they just need to make sure that they don't give Central anything cheap and easy here.
I want to thank all the viewers for watching, all the listeners for listening. Got a great ball game here between Cheyenne South, your South High Bison, and the Cheyenne Central Indians here.
Just a fantastic game. Now, Central will have the ball to start the second half, so you don't think they'd want to do anything super risky here. What do? You take a shot?
Oh, you got to take a shot because, with as many times the South's been penalized, you're probably going to get a pass interference call. It's going to move it 15 yards further. So, why not give it a shot, right?
Yeah, and a defensive penalty will not end the half, so why not throw it up and see if you can get something to pop your way. Ball's at the 41, actually 37 yards on that return for Montgomery, and he just about had the edge. And why you kick it to him, I don't know. But Tripp's receiver's left, single receiver to the right, and Bell is the running back, the lone back. And let's see what Central does here. Much more. It's going to throw it outside to Montgomery.
The backwards pass, and he's wide.
Look at that. Oh, he missed him! Holy cow, he had him for a touchdown, and South was completely burned, and he overthrows him, so that'll take us to the half. Tate Montgomery with the pass attempt, and South dodges a bullet there. So at the half, fans, can you believe South has the lead at Central at the half? It's the Bison 16, the Indians 14. Come back for second half action here on 11-12 BISN. Straight ahead, the American Storage and Postal Halftime Show.
It needs to be affordable. It needs to be family-friendly. Above all, it needs to be fun. Now, let's talk about high school sports. Bang for your buck, school sports provide the perfect game plan for your family. You'll enjoy all of the drama and excitement competitive sports offer. You'll be supporting the future leaders of our community in a meaningful way. Best of all, you can take the entire family without breaking the bank. Heck, you won't even dent it. Now, enough chalk talk. Let's get out there and see what's playing at the high school in your community. School sports. Good for our kids, good for our community. This message presented by the Wyoming High School Activities Association and the Wyoming Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in Wyoming. This is sportsmanship. School sports. It's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the Wyoming High School Activities Association and the Wyoming Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
When you sell your home, there's a lot to worry about. Is your home priced right? Is it being marketed properly? With Misty Woods from Number One Properties, not only will she make sure that your home is priced accurately based on market value, but she will also ensure all potential buyers are aware of your listing. With her personal and professional marketing of each listing, you can rest easy by leaving all the big details to her. Visit Misty at mistywoods.com. That's MISTIE woods.com to learn more about what Misty can do for you. So start taking all of that stress away from selling your home by visiting mistywoods.com or call her at 307-214-7055. Misty Woods and Number One Properties, expertise and friendly service is just a click or a phone call away.
Hello, Bison fans. This is Steve McDonald, voice of the South High Bison. Do you need a full-service real estate expert? Then visit Misty Woods from Number One Properties. Whether you are buying or selling, her expertise and understanding of the local market can make your real estate transaction a success. Visit www.mistywoods, that's MISTIE woods.com, to learn about her services. Once again, that is www.mistywoods.com. Misty Woods and Number One Properties. Expertise and friendly service is just a click away.
Tired of paying rent? Tired of living in a house where a landlord tells you what is or what is not allowed in the home? Then visit Misty Woods from Number One Properties at mistywoods.com. That's MISTIE woods.com and begin your journey to owning your own home. Search through all of the homes that Misty has listed on her website. Then schedule a meeting with Misty and let her get to work for you. Misty will help you find the home that meets your needs. And the best part is, she will walk you through each and every step of your purchase and truly guide you through the entire process until you sign your name on the dotted line. Your path to owning your own home is only a click away at mistywoods.com.
Hey, I've got a question. Why pay all that money for an expensive airbrush or paint job for custom graphics? Here's an idea. Check out Custom Illusions and put on those graphics with their hydro dipping process. Go down and see Randy Peterson. And if you got a doubt, hey, he'll let you know. Give him a call, 634-DIP. That's 634-3477, or stop by at 909 East Fox Farm Road, number 1. Here's a question. Why pay all that money for an expensive airbrush or paint job to get those custom graphics? Go see Randy Peterson at Custom Illusions to get those custom graphics put on through their hydro dipping process. From mild to wild, dip, it dips. And if you have any questions, give them a call at 634-DIP. That's 634-3477. Or stop in at 909 East Fox Farm Road, number 1. Custom Illusions, your hydro dipping and automotive specialists.
What do high school students, student athletes, police, fire, and military personnel all have in common? They often have a need to have patches and other items sewn on the letter jackets, jerseys, sports officials' clothing, and uniforms. That's why you need to see A Stitch in Life here in Cheyenne. They are the high-quality, low-priced experts for all your patch attachments, sewing, and embroidery needs. Shannon and her staff specialize in sewing and embroidery and will give you fast, quality service for a low price. So if you've earned that academic or athletic letter in high school, proudly serve as a policeman, fireman, or military member, then call us Stitch in Life at 307-426-5009. Once again, that's 307-426-5009, or visit them at 1024 East Pershing Boulevard for all your sewing, tailoring, and embroidery needs. And make sure to tell them 1112 BISN sent you. Are you a high school student that has received an academic, athletic, music, or any other type of high school letter? If you are, then bring your letter and your letterman's jacket to A Stitch in Life, located at 1024 East Pershing Boulevard, and have them sew that patch onto your letterman's jacket for you. Specializing in sewing, tailoring, and embroidery, A Stitch in Life will bring your letterman's jacket to life. Give A Stitch in Life a call at 307-426-5009, or visit them at 1024 East Pershing Boulevard, and let them know 1112 BISN sent you.
This is number 46, Shane Dosaver from the South High Bison football team, and you are listening to the game on 1112 BISN, your Bison Network.
Is your home beginning to look like an episode of Hoarders on the A&E network? Then head over to American Storage and Postal. With 555 storage units ranging from 5x10 to 12x42, they'll have the right size unit that fits your needs. American Storage also has warehouse units with heat, phone, and power. No need to worry about the security of your belongings because American Storage is equipped with 24-hour video surveillance and a computer-controlled entry system to ensure the safety and security of you and your property. So before the clutter pushes you out of your house, call American Storage at 307-635-9335 or go see them at 1903 South Greeley Highway and tell them 1112 BISN sent you.
There you heard it, fans. American Storage and Postal. And you're now listening to the American Storage and Postal halftime show here from Risky Field. And can you believe, folks, this is not an error, and you're not hearing me wrong. It is South leading the Central Indians 16-14.
Boy, and I tell you what, they're leading 16-14, and they could be up by so much more. But that's one thing about football. It's a game of what could be. But, hey, we'll take a 2-point lead. We're leading 16-14, and here's the difference why, Steve. We have 295 total offensive yards to 154 from Central. 215 yards in the air for South, and then 80 yards rushing for South. And taking a look at your leading rusher for South right now is Marquez Jefferson, number 3. He's got 10 carries for 40 yards, averaging 4 yards a carry. He's got that one long touchdown run, which always helps for you, which is giving you that lead there. Passing-wise, let's go ahead and take a look at the passing and the story of the game. Junior, number 4, Austin Barker, going 9 out of 17 in the first half for 215 yards and 1 touchdown. We're only going to show the top 2 receivers for the Bison. He hit 4 different receivers in the first half. Number 2, Michael DeBryan, has 4 receptions for 95 yards, and, of course, 68 of that came on 1 long pass, and then we lost 15 of it because of an unsportsmanlike conduct. And then number 15, Riley Habercorn, actually picked up his 2nd touchdown of the season. He's got 2 for 69 yards, averaging 34.5 yards a touch when he catches the ball. So, our 2 leading receivers have 6 receptions between them for 164 yards. Austin Barker, though, the story of the game, he's just storming out of the gates. 215 yards passing. That's a South record right there, and it's still the first half.
And so South outgaining Central almost 2-1 in that first half. But another story for South, a lot of mistakes. They did put the ball on the ground once, lost the 1 turnover, and they've committed 8 penalties. So they're -1 in the turnover battle, and they have 8 penalties to Central's 3. What does South need to do to clean some of this up in the second half?
They got to play more disciplined football, Steve. I mean, we've gotten into the red zone 3 or 4 times this game, and we've only come out with 16 points. And when you're leading 16-14 in an emotional game like this for the Bison, we've got 1 victory in program history. Why not get your 2nd victory against one of your crosstown rivals, a team that's not as good as they normally are generally on the football field? They can do this, but I can tell you right now that Severn saw some weaknesses in the South's defense, and I can tell you where the weakness is. They've got to watch the edge. South's defense has got to watch the edge, and they've got to watch those pass plays. That little trick play at the end, it was obviously going to be a pass play. They threw it. It was a backwards pass to Tate Montgomery. Our corner bid on that, and that guy was wide open. Keep your good coverage. Keep your composure. Play to win the game. Play not to lose the game.
And so South, the eyeball test, you're just looking at this thing, this is pretty 2 evenly matched teams. I mean, South has been able to move the ball against the Indians. The Indians have had success offensively against South, but, the eyeball test, this is something that we're really not used to, and you're probably not used to out there watching this, is seeing South basically man for man competing straight across the board with the Central Indians.
They really are. And you know what? Honestly, this game, I mean, if you look at the statistics, now you don't win games by stats, but I mean, we've outgained them 295 to 154. Passing wise, we've doubled up on them, almost tripled. 215 yards passing to just 78 of them. We've got more yards passing than they have combined yards passing and rushing. I mean, the turnover, we're winning the turnover battle right now. Central has 2 turnovers. We have 1. Of course, we had the 2 picks, one by Michael DeBryan, one by Brendan Nelson, and then we had the 1 fumble recovery by that number 47 for Central. So turnover-wise, it's pretty much a wash. It's the penalties. South has 8 penalties for 65 yards, Steve. Now, they did this against Evanston last week, and in the second half, we cleaned it up. Only had like 2 penalties in the second half. So maybe it's the same thing. They get their nerves under them. They got the speech, and hopefully something happens.
One problem that South had last week in the second half is, it's a depth issue. South just really doesn't sub. I mean, they've got maybe 13 or 14 deep on offense, and maybe 12 or 13 guys play on defense. And we saw last week, that Evanston was able to move in the second half against a tired South team. I don't know what the plan is for the second half here, but Central, a little bigger team than South, it looks from the eyeball tests. And if South isn't gonna sub or give any breaks or rest, that could play a factor as well. But Central will get the ball when we come back. We have about 3 minutes left, and then 3 minutes of warm-up time. So fans, you got to believe out there in Bison land, yes, indeed, the Bison have the lead on the American Storage and Postal halftime show. It is South 16, Central 14. We got the second half to go, so come back for that here on 1112 BISN.
Your Bison Network.
Have a package that you need shipped somewhere? Then visit American Storage and Postal. Not only will they custom pack your shipment, but they will also ship the package for you using UPS, FedEx, and USPS. But their service doesn't stop there. At American Storage and Postal, you can also rent mailboxes for personal or business use. They also offer other services such as fax, copying, and notary. Give American Storage and Postal a call at 307-635-9335. That's 307-635-9335. Or visit them at 1903 South Greeley Highway and tell them that 1112 BISN sent you.
Let's talk about the X's and O's of family entertainment. Every parent in Wyoming knows the importance of being able to draw up an activity that'll get you out of the house for a couple of hours. But it needs to be affordable. It needs to be family-friendly. Above all, it needs to be fun. Now, let's talk about high school sports. Bang for your buck, school sports provide the perfect game plan for your family. You'll enjoy all of the drama and excitement competitive sports offer. You'll be supporting the future leaders of our community in a meaningful way. Best of all, you can take the entire family without breaking the bank. Heck, you won't even dent it. Now, enough chalk talk. Let's get out there and see what's playing at the high school in your community. School sports. Good for our kids, good for our community. This message presented by the Wyoming High School Activities Association and the Wyoming Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in Wyoming. This is sportsmanship. School sports. It's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the Wyoming High School Activities Association and the Wyoming Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
When you sell your home, there's a lot to worry about. Is your home priced right? Is it being marketed properly? With Misty Woods from Number One Properties, not only will she make sure that your home is priced accurately based on market value, but she will also ensure all potential buyers are aware of your listing. With her personal and professional marketing of each listing, you can rest easy by leaving all the big details to her. Visit Misty at mistywoods.com. That's MISTIE woods.com to learn more about what Misty can do for you. So start taking all of that stress away from selling your home by visiting mistywoods.com or call her at 307-214-7055. Misty Woods and Number One Properties, expertise and friendly service is just a click or a phone call away.
Hello, Bob. So, fans, back from Risky Field, and it comes down to this: one half of football to play here, and South is holding a slim lead, 16-14, over the Central Indians. And I tell you, my key for the second half, South is going to have to contain Tate Montgomery.
Yeah, they're going to have to really, really keep an eye on Tate Montgomery. That kid's fast. He's a playmaker. And, they're going to look to get him the ball. Plain and simple. They're going to look to get him the ball. You've got to make sure you just play sound football, Steve, because if you concentrate too much on one player, then they got that number 31 who's going to run all over you. And, you just got to be able to play sound football, but don't let number 10 beat you.
Two things of worth mentioning here. Number one, After halftime, the high school rules require a 3-minute warm-up period. Both teams have already been out and warmed up. They're ready to kick this thing off. However, by rule, they got to put 3 minutes on the clock, so both teams will stand out there and look at each other for 3 minutes as that ticks down. The other thing, fans apologize for the glare and the reflections. Again, Allan talked a little bit about it earlier. There are glass press boxes here at Central, and the windows do not open, so the glare that you're seeing on your screen, and you see Allan's pretty face in the back there superimposed, and that is just due to the fact the light bouncing off the window in front of us, reflecting off the window in front of us, and that is why the glare. So it's probably something you're going to have to put up with for most of the rest of the game. So we got a minute and a half left of warm-up time before South kicks it off, and boy, if they're smart, you don't put it anywhere near number 10, but
no,
they've kicked it to him every time tonight, so hopefully that's not something that comes back to bite him.
And he's getting closer, it seems. You know, each one, I mean, he had that one that went for 17. Each return's gotten longer. His first one was 17 yards. Second return was 26 yards. Last return was 36 yards.
And last year at South, Montgomery just murdered the Bison.
Yeah,
I mean, I think he had probably 4 or 5 touchdowns, and so he's just a tremendous playmaker for the Indians. You can bet they're going to try to get the ball in his hands here in the second half. South just doesn't need to help him with that and kick it right to him, but we'll see what happens. We're under a minute and counting down. Again, we'd like to send a shout-out to our buddy Chad Whitworth, AD here at Central, for his hospitality and graciousness, setting us up so we can bring this game your way.
He really hooked us up, huh? He must be in the press box, huh?
We have to take the opportunity while it's present. So Soder's going to kick it off. Montgomery and Alexander deep for the Indians. South with the lead. You can believe. 16-14. 24 minutes of football to go.
24 minutes of exciting football to go. That's what it is.
Take a quick station ID. You're listening to high school football here on 1112 BISN.
Let's give a real quick shout-out to all of our sponsors here of 1112 BISN. We can't ever stop giving our sponsors some love. Sponsor Benchmark Engineering, LCCC, Tri-State Veterinary Clinic, American Storage, Dairy Queen, Wyoming Department of Transportation, Capital Communications, S&J Signs, and Misty Woods from Number One Properties.
So 7:29 Mountain Standard Time here on a Friday night. And South will spread out, and Soder will get ready to put the toe to the ball. And he kicks it right at Montgomery. And he'll take it at the 8. Tayton across the 20. Tayton's got a seam. And he's going to be tackled by number 14. Justin Simpson. But, man, that is a poison pill right there, and I don't know why they keep doing it, but he's across the 30 to the 32, so give him 24 yards on the return, and here goes Central to work on offense. And they'll get the instruction from the sideline. Again, this football team has not huddled. Much more comes out under center, and Wiltinger is the back for Central.
Once again, I want to apologize for the bad reflection in the window. We can't turn the light off because the people in the press box, they do need it so they can keep their stats and all that. But we'll try to give you the best video we can.
Much more going to go right to the air.
Oh, and
throws long, and the defender fell. Habercorn, and Central with a great big play to start the second half. And Habercorn's going to stay down on the sideline, and that's Alexander. The 30, where are they going to put it down?
They put it at the 36, 32 yards.
So Central in business right away as they go right to the air. And now Mitchell Bell back in the backfield for the Indians. They'll bring twin receivers to the left side. Much more. Fakes the give. Looks like a broken play, and he's just going to have to try to get what he can, which is actually
about 6 yards.
Quite a little bit. Looks like Eagle Road and McHenry on the play for South, but, man, a broken play turns in to about a 5-yard gain for Muchmore. It'll be 2nd and 5 for Central. And South's defense really needs to buck up here.
Well, not the way you want to open up the second half, huh?
Yeah. And Muchmore getting the play, calling it at the line. Wilchinger back in the backfield. Much more to throw. Much more. He's going to pick on, and it's intercepted by DeBrine. And again, he just floats one up. Mike DeBrine's going to bring it back all the way across the 30. Another flag down. 2 flags. So Mike DeBrine intercepted at about the 8-yard line. So South will have the football because they were both post-interception flags, but looks like maybe a block in the back or something. And if South does get the ball, it's going to be deep. There's 1 flag laying at the 14-yard line. So let's see. The white hat is going to confirm with his
I'm just holding my breath.
Yeah, personal foul on South.
Unsportsmanlike
on South. What are they doing out there? Man. That's going to probably back him up inside the 10. And man, this team needs to really get some composure when they make a big play. That's just absolutely ridiculous to have a personal foul and an unsportsman when you intercept the ball on the first possession of the second half. Unexcusable.
Yeah, that's not good composure by South. You're just shooting yourself in the foot when you do that.
I mean, there needs to be kids being pulled off the field and sat down.
Yep.
So let's see that, South in business with the interception, but
I mean, we would have had the ball at the
explaining to Coach Pugh on the far side what the deal was. And man,
Coach Pugh not very happy about something.
He might not like the 13 penalty flags to 3 ratio, but
yeah, that is kind of a.
And boy, they're going to take it all the way back to the 10-yard line, so you're going to have to figure that out, stat guy. I don't know.
35. That's a 25-yard penalty, pretty much. I mean, 15 and 10. It's 15 then half the distance. So
good news is South has the ball and does not let Central score. Bad news is they're backed up at their own 10, so they've really got to get their composure back right here and start to wear down the Central defense.
So once again, South has great opportunity just ruined by penalties, and now that gives us 10 penalties.
And now Coach Pugh's confirming with the white hat.
So they must have enforced both penalties then.
I think so. It's a mess, whatever it is, but at the end of the day, it's 1st and 10 South. Ball is at their own 10-yard line, right at the 10, and they need to take a deep breath. Now, none of the guys that were involved in that defensive interception have been taken off the field, so I guess we're just going to play on with personal fouls and unsporting penalties and everything else. So
Jake Brown with the carry.
We'll give it up the middle there for be kind and give 3 yards, 2nd and 7. Of course, we don't know what the situation was, so it's really not our place to say. But you figure something's got to be done about it.
It was Jake Brown with the carry.
A person,
and they gave it to Marquez, who was out and he was lined up as a receiver.
So there we go. 2nd down, Marquez, and Marquez is going to make some money up the middle. And he'll get him some breathing room up across the 15, close to the 18. And
that's a nice little game.
Looks like Carbaugh was in there.
Boy, that Carbaugh. We taught him good, Steve.
Give him 6 yards for Jefferson. 3rd and 1 now. Ball at the 19.
This is a big 3rd down play. Huge 3rd down play. And it's only the 3rd quarter, but this is huge because
they'll throw it, and it's DeBrine, and it looks like he'll have the 1st down, and Montgomery was in on the play there for the Indians, but that's going to be about a 5-yard gain. And nice play call there by Freddie Pillavant. And the clock will run 9:27.
Well, you know why not call that slant play? I mean, he's going to give him He's going to give him a 7-yard cushion. I'd call that slant play every time, man.
So 1st and 10, Bison. They are out of the hole that they dug for themselves. They're at the 24-yard line. Receiver splits to each side, and I formation.
Now he's lined up tight on.
Now, Jefferson, not much doing there. That stiff Central defense. Number 4, guess who? Mirich all over the place. And
I've got unofficially
maybe
7 tackles for Mirich this game so far. 2 of them for losses.
So maybe,
I'll tell you what, that run there looked like it could have gone onto the episode of Dancing with the Stars. All he did was just kind of dance in the hole there and just got wrapped up. So
twin receivers to the left, I formation again. And Barker's going to throw. Barker, overshoots everybody. The miscommunication there as
just
DeBryan was coming on the slant, and Barker airmailed him, so that's going to bring up 3rd and 10.
DeBryan thought in, Barker thought out, and thankfully the DB went out in too. So it's going to bring up a long 3rd down, 3rd and 10. South with 12 first downs in the first game. In this game so far. Just have not been able to capitalize on the few mistakes that Central's made so far this game, because we make even bigger mistakes by having those big penalties, Steve.
3rd and 10. Barker likely to put it in there. He's going to drop straight back. Screen. It's set up to Jefferson. He's got a blocker leading out front. Marquez with room. Marquez has the first down and more. He's on his way. 45, 50, 40, 35, 30. 1 man to beat. 2 men to beat. He cuts it back all the way to the 15-yard line. What a play by Jefferson there on the screen pass. And again, what a beautiful play call by the South coaching staff on offense.
61-yard pass, man.
61 yards on the completion puts Barker well over 300 on the day.
Yeah, that's 281.
Oh, yeah, he had 215 and a half. So he puts him up close. And South in business now, 1st and 10, Central 14. Let's see if we cannot commit 2 or 3 penalties this time. When we're down here close and knocking.
281 yards passing.
And it goes across. It's incomplete, intended for Nelson, I believe.
That was just a great defensive play there by Central.
So 2nd down now. Nice call to go with the slant, but they went to the inside guy instead of the outside guy. They've been having success hitting the slant to the outside receiver. They tried the slot that time. Get him in the hands, but it was a hard pass, and he just wasn't able to wrangle it in. Now Mike DeBryan comes out to the right. He'll be joined.
Maybe we should get everybody in the back to kind of like stand behind us. That'll cut the glare out.
2nd and 10 South.
Our viewer count's gone up. So
boy, there's a flag. Let's see. Looked like Central was off. Nope. Unbelievable.
We couldn't be lucky enough, man.
Wow. Every single time that we've got inside their 20, we've had a penalty derail it. Now, twice they were able to overcome it and score.
It's out 95 yards in penalties. That's their 11th penalty this game for 95 yards. 90. 9-5.
2nd and 5 from the 19, and fake to give. Barker looking for the end zone. Whoa! And he landed right between 3 Central Indians. And
well, you know, it makes me wonder if the wind didn't get a hold of that, because Brendan Nelson was wide open. He beat his coverage. He beat both the guys. But when he threw that ball, it just hung up in the air there. So now we got 3rd and 15 from the 20-yard line. Steve, what do you do?
Well, you gotta put the ball in the air here. I don't think a running play is going to get you. I don't think you want to settle for a field goal. I think you want to at least attempt to try to pick this up. And they're going to give it to Jefferson. Big hole up the middle, inside the 10, and he's wrangled down at about the 9. Now the decision comes for South. 10-yard gain, so you're going to be about 4 yards short, and you're going to have 4th and 4.
What do you do?
Makeable field goal would be about a 26-yarder.
He's making a smart call,
and they're going to put points on the board when they get the chance here.
Yeah, he's on the far hash mark though, so this kind of this is not as easy as it looks. This is exactly where Rock Springs was. I mean, on the other side of the field when we played him last year. He's got to put a little angle. The wind is going from south to north, so
the tee's down at the 15. It'll be a 25-yard attempt for Soder. 1 for 1, and good snap, good kick, and I think he pushed it, and it is no good, so Soder misses the field goal, and South clings to the 2-point lead, 16-14. The ball will probably be brought out to the 20-yard line since they tried that inside, and Central will have first down from their own 20.
Missed opportunities, Steve. Missed opportunities. You know, I would love to say it was penalties because it started with the penalties, but then we had that long pass play for 61 yards, and then we did get the penalty, the false start. I mean, but that's all it was a false start, Steve. We just were unable to capitalize on it, and then we miss a 25-yarder. I mean, we hit a 38-yarder in the first half. So leaving points on the field, that's 4 points now that South's missing because they've left them on the field.
So much more. We'll hand to Bell. He's going to get strung out to the right. Keyshawn Johnson's going to wrangle him down.
Keyshawn who?
Keyshawn Farmer, excuse me. I still got that on my head from last week.
From last week.
And they're going to give him Mitchell Bell. Going to give him, put it right back about the 20, so no gain there. Great play by Farmer. Central right back at it. And South's having to hurry to get into formation on defense. Again, Bell's the single back. South looking to drop a blitz here. They do. Much more. Under duress and sacked by big number 76. That's Isaac McHenry. And that'll be a 4-yard loss back to the 16. Bring up 3rd and 14. And, boy, South had blitz on all the way there. And they were not shy about it. And that's their second quarterback sack of the game.
And seems like he's a little hurt.
And Muchmore did get slammed to the ground. McHenry is a big dude, and Muchmore is going to have to come out. He looks a little woozy.
He's going to put Brock Anderson in the game.
Let's hope he's okay. Boy, he sure does.
He got thrown down, and, you know, his helmet probably hit the back of that turf. And he's woozy.
He is. Brock Anderson might just have to put this thing on his shoulders here. He had the one series in the first half on the third play through the interception. So, but if Central wants to, boy, Muchmore does not look like he's doing well.
South playing really tight coverage.
Now, Anderson's going to throw on first down. He floats one over. Oh, hits him right in the hands. And, boy, he didn't get any help there. Number 20 for Central, Paul Shepard, had it right in his hands. He'd have been
right there,
close to a first down.
So the punt team comes out. Is that going to be number 5 punting again?
So Central going to punt from deep in their own territory from the 15.
So we still win the battle of field position here because if we get the ball where we should, at least midfield.
And Central's going to be forced to call timeout here. So 6:03 to go, third quarter. It is South 16, Central 14. We'll be back after this timeout on 1112 BISN.
Your Bison Network.
Here's a question. Why pay all that money for an expensive airbrush or paint job to get those custom graphics? Go see Randy Peterson at Custom Illusions to get those custom graphics put on through their hydro dipping process. From mild to wild, the dip fits, it dips. And if you have any questions, give them a call at 634-DIP. That's 634-3477. Or stop in at 909 East Fox Farm Road, number 1. Custom Illusions, your hydro dipping and automotive specialist.
So back here live from Risky Field. 4th down, 15 for the Indians from their own 15. They will come out punt formation. Mike DeBryan deep for South. He'll be standing at about his own 46. I believe that's Alexander back to punt for the Indians. And he gets a good snap, runs it out, and boots it away. And DeBryan is going to let it bounce. And it kind of takes a little bit of a south bounce, and it'll come to rest at the Bison 49. So South, great field position to start this drive right at midfield at their own 49.
35-yard
36 yards on the punt.
Yeah.
And South with the 2-point lead. And let's see if they can exert their will here.
Once again, we do apologize about the glare in the window. We're doing our best to bring you the best video we can right now.
The right eye formation. And Jake Brown gets it straight up the middle. Big hole. And, boy, he just powers and lumbers and bumbers down. 74 on the tackle for the Indians, but not before Brown gets about 8 yards. Kostelecki. And that's a couple of large bodies coming into contact with one another on that play. Again, I formation. This time, trap. Again, Jake Brown. Boom. And, boy, they go low that time. Nice tackle, but not before Jake gets from the 42 down to about the 36. Give him 6 on the carry. Wasn't quite sure who was on the tackle, but first down for South. And they're doing it with the big body here.
Well,
5:15 and count.
Wear him out, wear him out, wear him out. That's the name of the game. Oh, and then Jake Brown just, oh, no.
Holy cow.
They're going to let it go. No
and
flags.
There's goes off tackle that time to Jefferson. And now South running the ball 4 or 5 yards a pop.
That's about a 5-yard gain.
Boy, that's the second time I've seen a South back kind of do a oopsie and no call. So
give that tackle to, look like Mirich, right? Nope, Taylor.
Dylan Taylor with the tackle. And now a receiver will split out each side, 2nd and 5. We like these down distances here. And he's going to pass. And he's got a man. Jake Brown, first down, inside the 20 and down to the 15-yard line. Great play called there as Big Jake gets it all the way down to the 13.
It's an 18-yard gain, right?
Sounds good to me. First down, 10 to go. South. Ball at Central, 13.
299 yards passing for Barker.
Oh, my God, Aaron Smith. How many times you going to do that? Holy cow, buddy. Here we go again. False start.
False start once we get down there.
South just does not like 1st and 10. Inside Central's 20. They just don't like it. They'd rather be in 1st or 2nd and long.
We refuse to run a 1st and 10 play.
They don't
to do it, man.
They don't have a first down and 10 play in their playbook. So Jefferson that time is going to fight to try to get back to the line of scrimmage. He's still fighting for a little guy, and wow, he's going to just about pick that penalty yardage back up.
And I'm going to say he does pick it back up.
Cooper Mirich again.
Yep, 5 yards.
And give him 5, make it 2nd and 10.
Now they can open up the playbook.
2nd down and 10, and South has not been a very good red zone team in terms of penalties tonight. And Barker's going to throw.
Oh.
Barker goes to the corner, caught, touchdown Bison! And it's Shane Tilsaver, the tight end, gets the 13-yard pass, and South up 8 points, 22-14. A extra point makes this a 2-possession game, 3 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. What a grab there by Dilsaver. What a pass by Barker, who is now well over 300 yards
312 yards passing and 2 touchdowns, Steve.
High snap, kick up. Ooh, it's good! And South has the 2-possession lead here. The score, South 23, Central 14, 3:05 to go 3rd quarter. And you're listening to Bison Football on 1112 BISN.
Your Bison Network.
What do high school students, student athletes, police, fire, and military personnel all have in common? They often have a need to have patches and other items sewn on the leather jackets, jerseys, sports officials' clothing, and uniforms.
That's why you need to see a Stitch in Life here in Cheyenne. They are the high-quality, low-price experts for all your patch attachments, sewing, and embroidery needs. Shannon and her staff specialize in sewing and embroidery and will give you fast, quality service for a low price. So if you've earned that academic or athletic letter in high school, proudly serve as a policeman, fireman, or military member, then call us Stitch in Life at 307-426-5009. Once again, that's 307-426-5009, or visit them at 1024 East Pershing Boulevard for all your sewing, tailoring, and embroidery needs. And make sure to tell them 1112 BISN sent you. Are you a high school student that is receiving?
Back here live, Risky Field, and fans know you not hearing it wrong. South has the lead in the third quarter. The score 23-14, and Central with their back against the wall under first-year head coach Drew Severn, and South ready to kick it off. Soder, and once again he's going to let Montgomery touch it. He makes an athletic play to take it at the 3. Montgomery looking for the edge, cuts it up. He's got a lane. He's got one man to beat, cuts back, and Montgomery might be gone.
I think he is gone.
And that's going to be 97 yards.
97 yards.
They had him pinned to the sideline, and they could not get it done. And they've continued to kick it to him, and they've continued to kick it to him, and they've continued to kick it to him. And we've told you all night that he's going to do that.
Boy, I'll tell you, we've been saying it. You cannot live on the edge, and we just keep kicking it to him, and it bit us in the butt on that one. I mean, like I said, every single one of his returns have gotten longer each time.
Yep.
And this time he finally finished it off by putting it in the end zone and cutting that lead right back down. So.
Perfect storm brewing. So Central right back in the thick of this. They're going to look to try to cut it to 2 here. Humphrey, left footer, up, through. And just like that, 19 seconds gets off the clock, and Central 23-21.
I almost gave Montgomery the touchdown on our stat sheet.
Disappointing there.
You just grabbed all the momentum, Steve. You just got all of the momentum in the game, and then you give up a kickoff return by kicking it to the most dangerous person on the Indians. I don't know. I'm speechless.
Squib kick it to Alexander. Do something different than that. But, I mean, they've done it every single time.
Every time, man.
Montgomery has touched every kickoff return.
He's had returns of 17, 26, 36, 24, and now 97 yards. Why do you keep kicking it to him?
Yep. That's the big question. So Humphrey's going to tee it up for Central, and we're right back into a game. South just had a ton of momentum there, and unfortunately, Central gets a touchdown. So DeBrine and Jefferson deep for the Bison.
Still 2 minutes and 46 seconds left in the third quarter. South had a 23-14 lead, and on the ensuing kickoff of their touchdown, Tate Montgomery runs it all the way back.
So 2:46 to go, third quarter. What a ball game. This has been fantastic from the get-go. Humphrey puts the foot to it, and that's not going to be returnable at-all as it hits the back top of the A in Central and rolls out of the back of the end zone. So South takes over possession from their own 20. Had a comfortable 9-point lead for all of 19 seconds. Yep. And let's see if they can continue to move the ball. Now, they had tremendous success on their last drive against this Central defense, so let's see if South can continue to just pound the ball their way, mix in a little air attack, and see what we can do here.
You know, hopefully Central's still a little winded. I mean, we were able to get 4 or 5 yards a pop running, so I take advantage of that. Keep wearing this team down.
Their defense didn't have a lot of time to rest after that kick return. Now Jefferson, and he's going to squeak through.
That's Farmer.
Keyshawn Farmer, yeah. Mirich on the tackle. Give Farmer maybe a yard on the carry, 2nd and 9.
But I tell you what, he had a lane, Steve. If he didn't, he bumped into Mirich, and he just fell on his own. I mean, if he would have kept his balance, that was a good 10, 15-yard gain right there.
Number 11 in the game for South, Matt Romero, at a receiver spot. Second down. The give, Farmer. This time he'll try the left side. And the ball's loose! Central's got it! And Keyshawn fumbles it, and it's recovered. Well, I don't know who recovered it. Was that Wiltinger that recovered it? Oh, and South gives the ball up. Farmer coughs it up, and Central right in business now at the South 20-yard line. Unbelievable turn of events here. South up by 9, and a minute later, they only lead by 2, and Central's in the red zone.
Central's got all the momentum on their side right now. They get a huge touchdown on a kickoff return with a big hit, force a fumble, and recover. They're in the red zone, and who's quarterback right now?
Brock Anderson is going to try to pass. He's going to go for the end zone, and it's caught and dropped there. And, boy, his receivers are not helping him at all. Alexander with Farmer on the coverage, and the pass is incomplete. Did hit him in the hands. It was a catchable ball. And second down now and 10.
So it makes me wonder, because who was on the coverage on that? Was that Marquez?
Farmer.
Makes me wonder if Marquez might be hurt because I don't see him out there, Steve.
Now the give, this time Mitchell Bell, and he's going to be wrapped up by Sawi, and he may get a yard before Nick wrangles him to the ground. And that's going to bring up third down. It's a huge third down here now. Humphrey does have plenty of leg to give Central a lead if they're not able to do nothing here, but South does not want to give up this first down for sure. Anderson will take it from under center with Bell the single back. Anderson rolls. Anderson throws. Anderson, he's got a man inside the 5, and that's the touchdown. And just like that, Central back up in this game. Dylan Alexander. Or excuse me, Kyle Alexander.
That was what, how many yards was that?
19. And 27-23, Central now with the lead. And Humphrey in for the extra point. Unbelievable turn of events here. All started. Now that's a low snap, but wow. That kid's got plenty of leg, powers it through, and Central takes the lead with 1:22 to go third quarter. It is Cheyenne Central 28, Cheyenne South 23. You're listening to high school football on 1112 BISN.
Your Bison Network.
Academic, athletic, music, or any other type of high school letter? If you are, then bring your letter and your Letterman's jacket to A Stitch in Life, located at 1024 East Pershing Boulevard, and have them sew that patch onto your Letterman's jacket for you. Specializing in sewing, tailoring, and embroidery, A Stitch in Life will bring your Letterman's jacket. Give A Stitch in Life a call at 307-426-5009 or visit them at 1024 East Pershing Boulevard and let them know 1112 BISN sent you.
This is number 46, Shane Dosaver from the South High Bison football team, and you are listening to the game on 1112 BISN.
And Steve, just like that, in 1 minute, South has given up 14 points and now trail 28-23.
Jefferson and DeBryan.
Big plays by Central. Got to give Central credit, man. I mean, we had the lead. They come back with a kick return, get a big turnover, and now it's a touchdown pass. Anderson to Alexander.
And Humphrey has yet to have a kick return going this direction, and that one won't be either. So into the end zone and a touchback. South will restart at their own 20-yard line. They find themselves down 5 points with 1:22 to go. Normally you'd be tickled pink in this situation, but the way the situation has come down is almost a gut kick for the Bison. They need to get their composure
One thing South's got to remember is there's still a whole quarter left to play. You're not going to win this game in one play. So don't force anything stupid. Don't try to make a play bigger than what it needs to be right now, Steve.
So I formation. Jefferson is back in the game. He's going to get the toss sweep to go to the left side. Jefferson has a little bit of room. He's up across the 25, still on his feet, and finally taken out of bounds. Let's see where they mark him.
They marked him right at the 31. 11-yard gain.
So 11 yards for Jefferson when it didn't look like he had much. That's a great way to start. I think Alexander was finally the last guy to touch him going out of bounds, I think. And twin receivers to the left. I formation. To pass. Barker. The throwback pass. Deal saver. Nice block out there by a Bison. And Shano is going to not get as much as it looked like he might have otherwise. I believe Eagle Road was the and there's a foul there. And now 2 flags. And let's see what this is. Dead ball. Unsportsman on the Bison. I don't even know what to say at this point.
13 penalties for the Bison.
The silence is deafening. You don't even know what to say. Don't even know what to tell you, folks.
So it's going to be like 2nd and 20.
Wow. Not going to win football games that way. Not going to change the culture and build a winning program that way.
To the 19.
28, 23, 56 seconds to go. First and about 20.
No, it's second and
about 20.
2nd and 21.
And Jefferson will sneak his way up for about a 6-yard gain or so. I believe number 3, Wojcicki. And so give him 6 and make it 3rd and about 16. 35 and counting.
I can tell you right now, the conditioning after practice on Monday is not going to be fun for the Bison.
So Austin's going to get in. There's 20 seconds and counting. So, and now they're counting. They need to get the play off. 3, here's 2. Here's going to be a delay, and there it is. And, boy, he counted about 3.5 counts. He wanted to throw that flag bad. That was my 5-second count in basketball. They'd have had a fit. Now,
that's going to be
Barker throws a up for grabs there, intended for DeBrine, but good coverage there by Jacob Carbaugh and Alexander, I believe. So now 4th and forever. 3.5 seconds to go. South's going to have to punt here. So South's going to have to punt now, 3.5 seconds to go. All the momentum in the world has shifted to the red and black. And Soder's going to punt it, standing about his 6. And he'll put the foot to it. Good punt there by Soder. And drives Alexander way back. And Alexander re-gets it, but there's no edge for South. And here goes number 6 there, and that looked like Jake Brown finally makes the play, but Central, not before they crack off a great big return. Probably about 27 yards on the return, and South's special teams have been dreadful tonight. Absolutely dreadful, and that'll be the end of the 3rd quarter. So the score is Cheyenne Central 28, Cheyenne South 23. We'll tabulate the numbers and get right back to you here on 1112 BIS.
Your Bison Network.
Bison Network.
Is your home beginning to look like an episode of Hoarders on the A&E Network? Then head over to American Storage and Postal. With 555 storage units ranging from 5x10 to 12x42, they'll have the right size unit that fits your needs. American Storage also has warehouse units with heat, phone, and power. No need to worry about the security of your belongings because American Storage is equipped with 24-hour video surveillance and a computer-controlled entry system to ensure the safety and security of you and your property. So before the clutter pushes you out of your house, call American Storage at 307-635-9335 or go see them at 1903 South Freely Highway and tell them 1112 BISN sent you.
So back to live risky field.
Penalties, 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 Steve. That's.
And Central with the ball in South territory. 1st and 10, South 38-yard line. Central with the 5-point lead. 12 minutes to go in the game. And look, there, Anderson to pass. Anderson over the middle. Intercepted! And it's Brendan Nelson, I believe, at the 25. And he's going to move it forward there. Looks like it's on the ground, but let's see who has it. 31, Caleb Price, the sophomore. Looks like he fell on the ball, but give the interception to Brendan Nelson, and he'll return it about 9 yards to the 34. Man, the South Bison are staying alive here.
I tell you what, we've done everything but have won this game. I mean, we've controlled the clock. We've outplayed Central. We've just beaten ourselves with penalties. Let's hope that South can kind of get themselves under composure here and not ruin this great opportunity they've been given.
Pitch to Jefferson. And he is going to be wrapped up by a host of Indians led by 52, who looks like he threw a punch there in the pile. Oof. So 52, Colton Borm. No gain, maybe a loss of a yard there.
Loss of 1.
And 2nd and 11, and the left side of the line just broke down. The blocking was not there. And 2nd and 11 for South.
Yeah, see, they'll talk to their team. I mean, they'll throw the flag on us. Let's go talk to them. Tell them not to throw the punch and the tackle. Oh my goodness.
The fake, Parker got Brown, but he underthrows him. Jake was open, and that's going to bring up 3rd and 11 for the Bison. So South at one point led 23-14.
And then the wheels fell off.
Special teams have not performed well tonight for the Bison. Gave up a 97-yard touchdown return on the ensuing kickoff. Turned the ball over on the next series, and Central 14 quick points to take the lead. Now Barker to pass. He's under pressure, and down he goes.
Down he goes.
And it's going to be all the way back at the 20-yard line, and Tate Montgomery with a speed rush and 9 yards, excuse me, more than that, 14 yards on the sack, and that's going to bring up 4th down and forever. And Bryce Soder's going to have to punt from the 20. Soder, snap is low, but he gets it off. A wobbly kick that's going to be fielded by Montgomery, and that's not the guy you want with the ball. And he's going to return it to the 40-yard line. So call 35 yards on the punt and about 15 on the return, and Central will start just about the exact same spot that they started their last drive. This time it'll be at the 40, 9:45 to go. Caleb Price makes the tackle, and here come the Indians, and I would bet they would be a little hesitant to put the ball in the air at this point, but you never know.
Well, you know, we've intercepted them 4 times, but the second half, we've just been shooting ourselves in the foot, Steve, so it's really...
And the play's going to be blown dead there.
Oh, my goodness. Central just got flagged for the 4th time this game.
So a false start penalty there will back the Indians up 5, and it'll be 1st and 15 for them at the South 45-yard line.
Watch that jet sweep.
Motion, Montgomery. And, boy, Central doesn't look like they know what's going on. He comes all the way over to the sideline. Now he's going to set up. So maybe a little trickery here, but they're just going to go Mitchell Bell up the middle, and not much doing there. And looks like Caleb Price perhaps was in on that play. No gain. So McHenry getting credit for the tackle there. 2nd and 15 now for the Indians. 9:18 to go. 4th quarter. Indians lead 28-23. Brock Anderson in for the injured Rhett Muchmore, and Anderson will drop the pass. And Anderson's looking for it all. And
great coverage.
He was going for Kyle Alexander. Looks like Brendan Nelson was on the coverage. That's going to bring up 3rd and 15 for the Indians.
Great coverage there by Nelson. Stride for stride with him.
So that'll bring up 3rd and long. And the plays come in from the sideline.
No stupid penalties now.
Trips receivers to the left, a single receiver split to the right.
Watch the snap count.
Mitchell Bell, the single setback, and Anderson counting his players. Make sure we got 11, and he's going to go to pass again. Same exact play, and Nelson, that's the same play there. And Nelson thought he had a shot at the interception, but he overthrows everybody.
Well, I tell you what, if he would have kept running instead of jumping for the ball, he would have caught that in stride and probably got a good return on it.
So 4th down, Central, and
well, Central,
the ball.
They flip field position, so South's going to have really poor field position here depending on where the ball is punted to. Number 6 in for the punt.
So DeBryan deep.
Central punting from their own 45.
And snap a little high, but he wrangles it in. Wow, great kick, nice and high. Coffin corner, but it's going to hit in the end zone and roll out. So that'll be a touchback, and South will take it at their 20. They're down 5. 8:48 to go in the game. And let's just keep it right here. Yeah, South, in a similar situation last week, drove the length of the field against the Evanston Red Devils. And let's see if this team, they've moved the ball well all night long. They have not been stifled or stuffed, so they're going to get it right in play here. 8:48 to go in the game.
I mean, we've pretty much been stopping ourselves this whole game. I mean, Central hasn't really done anything to stop us. We've just beat ourselves with penalties. Get great gains just to get called back for penalty, And
I formation. Barker to pass on 1st down. Sets up the screen. Oh, he's got Jake, or is that Marquez?
That looks like Marquez.
Oh, yep. Marquez, he almost dropped it. But he'll get 3 yards to about the 23 on 1st down, so make it 2nd and 7 on the pass. Man, if Barker would have got it to him in the chest, he might have been able to turn something and do with it, but do something with it, but it was low, and that stopped his momentum. Now,
yeah, that should be on Central.
He crossed 89 was a cross.
He crossed, so that should be on Central. You've got to be kidding me. He got into the neutral zone, man. Oh my goodness. We're not going to get anything our way this game,
This guy here on this side of the field here, I don't know.
He jumped into the neutral zone, which made our player react. That's encroachment.
This guy's taking the night off here on the near side. And Jefferson, he's got a little bit of room, and he's going to be up close to the 1st down. I think he might have it up across the 30-yard line and to the 31. So give him the 1st down.
13-yard gain.
13-yard gain on the play. And the clock runs. 1st and 10 South, ball to 31.
That's our first down in the 4th quarter, Steve.
Again, it's I formation. And again, Jefferson. Marquez, hard running, cuts it back. Marquez, across the 40 to the 45, and 15 yards there. So Jefferson with about 30 yards on the last 2 carries.
30 yards in the last 2 carries, and we only have 13 yards rushing in the quarter now because of some of the losses we had.
Boy, he's shifty. He's small, maybe a little hard to see, but boy, he's fast and shifty. Quickly, trap play to Brown. Jake, rumbling, bumbling, across the 50. And 89 on the tackle. I believe that's Almquist there, but not before Jake gets 6 yards on 1st down, maybe closer to 7.
I'm going to call it 7, Steve.
2nd and 3. So 2nd down and 3. South on the move. Jefferson cuts it back. Jefferson tries to get to the outside. What a play there by Wiltanger.
You've got to give them forward progress, don't you? Yeah, they did. Lost no yard. I mean, no line. Yeah, lost one.
Yeah, lost one,
lost
third
one.
And 4. But what a great play. If he would have got by Wiltanger, I believe that's who it was.
If he would have kept running straight, that would have been a first down. Yeah. But he tried to get fancy and put on his shoes and lost a yard because of it. So
3rd and 4. Receiver split to each side.
It's manageable. It's a 3rd and manageable.
Dillsaver's
wide open.
Got a guy. Oh, and it's just over the outstretched arms of a wide open Dillsaver.
He was wide open, and he overthrew him, Steve.
Had pressure
wide open.
Had pressure in his face from the right side of the defense. Now here's the call for you. 4th down. You've got 6:24 to go.
You know, your defense has actually been playing pretty good. I'd do it. I'd go for it. Maybe you try to draw them. Maybe they try to draw them. They're going to call a timeout and talk about it.
So let's take a timeout with them for station ID. You're listening to high school football on 1112 BISN.
Your Bison Network.
Here's a question. Why pay all that money for an expensive airbrush or paint job to get those custom graphics? Go see Randy Peterson at Custom Illusions to get those custom graphics put on through their hydro dipping process. From mild to wild, if it fits, it dips. And if you have any questions, give them a call at 634-DIP. That's 634-3477. Or stop in at 909 East Fox Farm Road, number 1. Custom Illusions, your hydro dipping and automotive specialist.
So let's set it up for you here from Risky Field. We're in the 4th quarter, 6:24 to go. South Trails 28-23. And they have a 4th down, 4 yards to go at the Central 49. They have called timeout to talk about it. And let's see, Stoder is on the field. So South is looking to probably punt the ball here. If they can pin Central deep.
Yeah, that's what they're doing.
And play defense and maybe get a turnover here. But guess what? You've got number 10 and number 6 back there.
Don't punt it to them.
And a high kick. And it's going to be fair caught by the Indians at the 16-yard line. So 33 on the punt. No return. And now it's up to the South defense to help change field position here. And let's see what Coach Nelson and the defensive staff
South's defense has actually played really well this game. I mean, like I said, statistically, if you look at it, we've dominated this game. But scoreboard-wise, because of those 2 quick touchdowns in that minute span, Central has the 5-point lead right now. And undisciplined play by South. 15 penalties this game. 9 last week, so that's 24 penalties to start the season already for South. And that's going to be the talk in meetings this week.
So I guarantee you the recipe for Central here is probably keep it on the ground and grind it out. But let's see. Mitchell Bell. Dillsaver not going to let him do much with it. Him and Eagle Road combined for the tackle. They're going to give about 2 yards to Mitchell.
6 minutes left in the 4th quarter, and that was the first positive yard play for Central this quarter, Steve.
So Brock with Mitchell Bell behind him. Quick out there, and that's incomplete. And that's going to bring up 3rd down now and stop the clock. So
I was just about to say, not only is it 3rd down, but it's going to be 3rd down with the clock not running.
Yeah.
So not only did they not take any time off on that play, I mean, because they ran no huddle, and he snapped it probably with a good 10 seconds left of the clock. He threw an incomplete pass. So South's got to watch those little plays, though. They cannot fall asleep.
That's usually a pretty safe little completion there, but just didn't hook up there. And now Anderson. And let's see what we have here.
That's going to make it 3rd and 13.
False start Central, so they're backing themselves up now.
Hey, I'm going to give Central credit. That's only the 5th penalty on Central. They've played really disciplined ball. Out of all their penalties, they've all been procedure calls, except for that one early in the game where they had that unsportsmanlike or that 15-yard penalty. But all procedure calls. I mean, that's a disciplined football team, Steve.
So let's see what they do here. 3rd and about 13, it looks like.
So here's what I'm telling my safeties. Nobody gets behind you.
And Anderson counting his players, making sure he's got what he needs. He is going to go to pass. He's going to roll. He's going to look downfield. And it's tipped, and it'll be out of bounds. He caught it, but we can't tell if he was in or not. They're marking him in. So tipped by Dilsaver, and reception made by Central. And, wow, what a play there. That's going to be 1st and 10.
But who made that catch?
I don't know. You have to ask these guys. I didn't have
Who made the catch? Tate Montgomery.
Montgomery with the catch, and, man, is he an Achilles heel for this South team. Just destroyed him last year at South, and he's working on doing it again this year. And now the clock stopped again, but Central gets the first down.
Tiptoed the line, was able to haul in the reception and keep possession. I mean,
so 1st and 10, and time starting to be a enemy to South and a friend of the Indians, Mitchell Bell. And that's time he's going to get a few yards there, tackled by Marquez Jefferson. And 5 on the play there. And South needs a big play here. Boy, just let game after game get away from you. How disheartening that can be, but plenty of time left. They just need to stop here. And Anderson is going to throw again. So Central not afraid to put the ball in the air. They've got a man, but he overthrows him again, stops the clock, and brings up 3rd and 5. So, boy, I don't know, man. If I'm on that sideline, there's probably about 2.5 minutes left in this game.
That's
right
what
now.
I'm thinking.
And I'm going to look at this 3rd down. Instead, they continue to throw the ball, and they continue to stop the clock.
So again, for all the new viewers watching the game, we do apologize for the glare. We are in the press box at glass windows, and we can't open any of the windows here in the press box, causing the glare. But hopefully you can see enough of this great game that's going on right now between your South High Bison and the Central
3rd
Indians.
and 5 to pass. Looks over the middle. And he's got a man over the outstretched arms of Dilsaver again. And DeBryan is going to finally make the tackle. It looks like it's number 20, Shepard, I believe. Paul Shepard, and that's a big gainer. And, boy, you got to hand it to Central. They
21 yards.
Not afraid
15,
to throw the ball in this
21
situation.
yards.
And they picked up a couple of key 3rd downs on this drive and really starting to put the foot on the throat of the Bison.
That was just bad coverage.
And the ball's on the ground. And let's see who has it. South that says they have it. And the officiating crew says, yes, they do. Isaac McHenry
with the
big fumble recovery. Wow, what a mistake there. And South is alive still. Unbelievable. They have been on life support a number of times in the 4th quarter here, and they keep waking up.
5th turnover by the Indians, and we got it at the 40-yard line. We're 60 yards away from pay dirt.
4 minutes, 11 seconds to go. Holy cow. Central's giving them every opportunity. Jefferson cuts back, and he meets a host of Central defenders. Forward progress looks up to the 42, and looks like Tate Montgomery's the one getting up off the tackle, so
3 yards.
2 yards on the carry, 2nd and 8. I formation, 2nd down 8. Barker, Jefferson, Marquez gets wrapped up by number 52. He's thrown forward for another 2. So it'll be 3rd and 6. I believe that's Borm. Colton Borm wrapped him up and threw him forward for a couple of yards.
Boy, huge 3rd and 6. Obviously, it's 2-down territory with 3:20 left. But you know what? You've got 2 timeouts. Central's been passing. So maybe you punt, pin him deep, and hope your defense calls it again if you don't get this 1st down, Steve.
So twin receivers will go to the right. This is a huge play for the Bison. Let's see what they dial up here. Barker. He's going to pass. Looking for the slant, and it bounces off Habercorn's chest. Nope, that's DeBryan. Excuse me. That looked like the same play they ran for the 4th down play at the touchdown last week. But
this time he was open. This time he was open. He just didn't catch the ball, Steve. It hit him right in the hands. That was a 1st down, and he drops it.
So this could
Coach
be the
Pugh's
ball
gonna
game
go.
here.
Well,
4th down to 6. Yeah, you don't know if you got
3 minutes
left.
left. 4th and 6.
So this will.
Barker, 318 yards passing in the game, 1 for 4 in the 4th quarter.
This will go a long way in deciding this one. Barker to pass.
There it is.
He's got DeBryan. Caught, first down. And he's into Central territory at the 45-yard line. Wow, what a clutch play there.
So 11, 9-yard gain? 10-yard gain.
Yep. And now South, 2:52, and they have the ball 1st and 10 at the Central 46. Wow, same play, just ran it to the other side. DeBryan made the catch. He's had a huge night for the Bison.
31 pass attempts for the Bison.
Big Jake straight up the middle. No, and a flag. This play is stopped.
Yeah, it's going to be on South. 5 yards.
So, double-digit penalties for South. Nope. South coaching staff's pointing. Nope, they're not. The South coaching staff looked like they were pointing towards Central, but it is going to go get South.
16 penalties on the Bison. 1st and 15.
Not going to win ball games committing that many penalties. They will roll the clock, 2:38 and counting. And
want to thank American Storage, S&J Signs, all of our sponsors.
So 1st and 15.
And we
that
fumbled the
ball's
ball.
on the ground now.
That was Jake Brown. He did not take the handoff. And that's going to be Central ball.
77. Eric Lundgren, and just like that, boy, this has been a game like last week, just infested with turnovers and penalties. And Central now in the driver's seat, 28-23.
3rd turnover by South, and a costly one. 2:23 left in the ball game. You got 2 timeouts left. 77 with a big fumble recovery for Central. You know, Jake Brown, Austin Barker was kind of replaying that read option, left and right in the pocket, just didn't realize it, and he just fell on the ground.
So South. And Mitchell Bell will get it right side. Niebuhr cuts him back, and Sawi cleans him up, but not before he gets about 4 yards on the carry. And I believe South has 2 timeouts left.
I don't call it yet.
2:06 and counting.
Got 2 timeouts left with 2 minutes left in the ball game. You know, you save it for 3rd, 4th down, hopefully. You know, you cannot give up a 1st down here. That's the key thing. You cannot give up a 1st down. And in the refs counting.
Anderson to Mitchell Bell. He goes outside.
He just gave up the 1st down.
That's the ball game there. And Mitchell Bell gets around the edge for a big gainer for Central there, and that ought to just about do it.
45 to the 28. That's a 17-yard gain.
So, as a South fan and a South player, I don't know, these disappointments just keep racking up, man. They had this thing in control, 23-14.
They've done everything they could to win this game but win the game.
Yep.
I mean, they've doubled Central's yards, forced more turnovers. They've just had 5 times more penalties. And when you have more penalties, that's what does it.
Same thing against Evanston. They outgained Evanston, outplayed Evanston, couldn't get it done at the end. Mitchell Bell on the counter. Now he's just cranking off big chunks, and Mitchell is going to be down to the 10, and instead of tackling him.
And there's a flag.
So what do we got here now? There's a South player down. That looks like DeBryan, and there's a flag there, and I don't know.
31 down to the 4. That's a 17-yard gain. That's going to be wiped out.
So I don't know what happened. Is that a personal foul on Central? No?
Coming back.
I didn't see the signal from the official. So we didn't have our eyes on the events. We just saw Mike DeBryan laying on the ground and a flag laying next to him, and they're marking it off from the 25, and it's a big one. It's going to be the 15-yard flavor, but just does nothing but negates the nice run by Mitchell Bell.
Yep.
I mean, Central still, minute 26 to go.
And it's still first down.
It's still going to be first. So the clock will wind. And 125 and counting. And Anderson tries to draw South off sides. South definitely.
There you go. Their lineman's jumping the whole time. It took them 5 seconds to throw that flag, man.
So let's see what happens. All that did, though, was run 9 more seconds.
That's exactly all it did.
Reset the play clock. So they'll put the ball in play at the 45. First down and about.
You still
25.
got 2 timeouts. I mean, but the whole thing is you gave up that first down and you shouldn't have. And
I think Central's probably close to looking at some sort of victory formation here. I mean, South's not able to.
Boy, this is, out of all the losses South has had in their football program, I'd say this is probably going to be the most painful loss. When you've doubled up a team's yards, you've doubled everything up but the penalties, and you could say, you know what, you literally beat yourself. Central didn't beat you. You beat yourself in this game, and you got to go back to the drawing board on it, man. All those penalties, 16 penalties, Steve, and that's going to hurt you right there, and that's exactly why Central is going to come away with this victory.
And 4 or 5 of them are discipline penalties. You know, unsportsmanlike conduct, personal fouls. And it's just a shame that you play so well as a football team, do so many things.
Fumble.
The ball's on the ground there. Oh, and I believe South
has it.
Holy cow. The clock is stopped. And the Bison, oh, no, yeah, the Bison, Grossman comes up with it, number 54, and oh, the phone now. Holy cow, will you pitch it there? Oh, no. You pitch the ball. When all you really got to do is probably take a knee or do a dive play.
Wow.
And you pitch it. Oh, my goodness.
They must have heard my dialogue. I mean, I was saying the game was over, and Central's like, well, you know what, let's give them one more chance.
The game was over.
Let's give them one more chance.
Barker, shotgun. Barker throws. He's got a man, Farmer, but he overshoots him, and Keyshawn would have had that in Central territory. And now a flag comes deep from the defensive secondary, and let's see what this is.
He's pointing to us.
Christmas.
Offensive pass interference. You've got to be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me. Let's throw another penalty here. That's going to be a 15-yarder, right?
Why that flag's thrown by the back judge? You got to be kidding me. He's calling stuff 30 yards downfield from his position. Maybe he'll get his name in the paper tomorrow. You better make sure Jeremiah gets his name. So
17 penalties on South.
He's quickly becoming the star of the show. 17.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable, man.
Wow. In and out of the hands of Mike DeBryan there, so, and the clock continues to run. So,
boy, that hit him right in the hands. Can't drop those balls, man. That hit him right in the hands. He could have caught that, got out of bounds.
So 2nd and 25 for South. Gee, many Christmas. Has this been a ball game? It's been entertaining.
Jeez.
So
I wonder what the record for penalties in a game on one team is, because I bet you we're getting pretty close. I ran out of little boxes on my stat sheet. I had to go underneath, man.
He'll be in a shotgun, ace formation. Barker to pass. Barker throws. Barker's got Nelson, but no, it's intercept.
Oh!
Caught!
Go, dog! Mike!
Mike! And it's out of bounds! Inside the 10-yard line! Are you kidding me?
You gotta be kidding me!
Alexander had the ball in his hands for Central. And how did Mike DeBryan end up with that?
The tip drill.
But he did, and South's going to have the ball at the 10-yard line.
56-yard pass play to Michael DeBryan.
First down and goal to go. 32.8 seconds. Unbelievable.
384 yards passing by Austin Barker.
Barker to pass. Barker looks. Oh, man.
And it's intercepted.
Oh, my goodness
Intercepted.
gravy.
Who intercepted that?
And that's. Oh, the ball's incomplete.
Incomplete.
Yes,
Woo.
indeed. So it'll be 2nd and goal, and jubilation in the central press box turns back to calming waters here. They thought they had the game over, and I did too, quite frankly. So, holy cow, man, I need a Pepto-Bismol or something.
Ooh.
So we got a timeout on the field. Let's catch our breath with a quick station ID. 2nd and goal, South.
Here's a question. Why pay all that money for an expensive airbrush or paint job to get those custom graphics? Go see Randy Peterson at Custom Illusions to get those custom graphics put on through their hydro dipping process. From mild to wild, if it fits, it dips. And if you have any questions, give them a call at 634-DIP. That's 634-3477. Or stop in at 909 East Fox Farm Road, number 1. Custom Illusions, your hydro dipping and automotive specialist.
So here we go now, 2nd and goal
Let's
for
hit
South.
replay, huh? Let's hit the replay. This is exactly the same situation we were in last week, except now we got 2nd down and 18 more seconds.
Barker gives to Jefferson. Jefferson cuts it back, and he's up to about the 5. 23 seconds now. They're going to have to call timeout. They'll have 2 plays again, just like they did last week. This time it's from the 5 instead of the 3. And
oh, my goodness.
You've got to – now they're out of timeout, so they've got to go to the air here and either have an incomplete – they cannot run the ball.
We shouldn't be. That was only our 2nd timeout.
We just called 2 – did Central call the one
Central
before
called
this?
the timeout. That wasn't us.
Okay, so holy cow, are you kidding me? Deja vu, exactly. I mean, they had almost exactly this amount of time with a timeout and 2 plays to score last week.
I don't know. Maybe we call it. I swear I saw the ref point to Central side when they called that timeout.
I'm not sure if we have 1 left after this or not. However, I think you got to take 2 shots at the end zone. Oh, my goodness gracious.
So last week we had 3rd and 3 from the 3-yard line with 10 seconds left. Could not put the ball. Let's see if we run. Hey, you know what? There's not a short side. We're in the middle of the field. So at least if we pitch it, we won't be on the short side of the field.
You got to give Barker 2 shots to win this game.
Yeah,
that is all there is to it. You have got to give Barker 2 shots to win this game. Full house backfield. Jake Brown. And so South apparently does have a timeout left. And Brown's down close. And they stop the clock with 14 seconds. Oh, my goodness.
We are at the 1-yard line. That should be a...
And it's going to be 4th down, and it's going to be about a yard here. And this is it, 14.2 seconds left.
This is it.
And do you line him, punch him in the mouth, and go get the win, or do you? So resetting it for you, 14.2 seconds left. South has a timeout. If they come up 1 yard short, oh, my goodness.
1 yard. 1 yard. I hope all of our viewers are coming back up. We were up to 60 viewers earlier, and now we're slowly climbing back up. 14 seconds left, 4th and 2. South with no timeouts.
Everybody
we are
on
2
their
yards
feet.
away.
This is what it comes down to right here. Full house backfield. They're going to give it. Jefferson. Touchdown! And South has a shot to win this game. And if South can go for 2, they're holding out 2 fingers to go for 2 to make this a 3-point game. And if they don't squib kick this next kickoff.
Wow. South leading 29-28 for all of our listeners and our viewers out there against Central.
What a game performance. Both sides have given it their all, but
Austin Barker with 384 yards passing.
All right. Jefferson, he's in for the 2, and he walks in untouched, and South leads 31-28, 10.5 seconds to go.
Now, here's the thing. Do not kick it to number 10.
You've got to squib it down the middle, keep lane integrity, and you are a play or 2 away from beating the Central Indians on their home field in their home opener for the first ever in-town victory for South, only their second ever victory. And boy, how big is this one?
31-28. 31-20. We are 0-3 against Central.
How many times have they been
0-3, and to be able to have a chance to beat them on their home field when you've done everything. You've tripled their yards, you've tripled the turnover count, you've quadrupled their penalties. I mean, you got everything. Do not kick it to number 10. He's already burned you. 97-yard touchdown return earlier in this half, earlier in the game, Steve. So I mean, you squib it. 10.5 seconds left, and then you hope your defensive backs do not bite for a fake.
You cannot get this ball anywhere in the zip code of Tate and Montgomery. You have got to squib it, make Central fall on it about the 35 or 40, and give them a play, maybe two, from 60, 65 yards away.
Oh, my goodness. This has been the game of games. 31-28, 10.5 seconds left. Squib it.
Soder has it teed up, and that's he kicks a high floater. It's not going to make it to Montgomery, but there is a stoppage in play.
Might as well throw it on there. 18 penalties, you know. It wouldn't be a play if there's not a foul penalty on South, right? Oh, my goodness. South cannot be they've got to keep their excitement under control. There's a lot of time left and a lot of dangerous athletes on the field right now. So
yeah, I think it's that back judge again, man. His arm's getting sore. He got to throw his arm out.
He's going to have to order a new flag after this game.
He's going to have to ice his arm once this one's done. Gee, Christmas. So they're back into the 35. Still 10-5, and now they squib it on the ground. Uh-oh, but it's going to get to Montgomery, and they better
set the edge.
Ooh, there's a block in the back. And he's down, and that is going to do it.
The ball game.
South High Bison
the ball game.
the Central Indians. The final score: South 31, Central 28. Jubilation on the field for the Bison.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
That's right. The South Bison came into Central, pulled off the upset, and you know what? Central played a great game. But South, they really fought hard for this game. They didn't give up.
Unbelievable.
300, our MVP for the game, number 4, junior quarterback, Austin Barker, 384 yards passing. I'll tell you what, that is a young man, and he's only a junior. Only a junior. Great job, South. We got to see if we can get Coach Pugh and Austin Barker up here so we can interview them.
We are absolutely dumbfounded here. What a second half of football.
Great game.
A seesaw, a roller coaster, and I can't even believe what we've just seen. We're going to take a little time out here, set up a little bit of the post-game show, so you stay right here. South with the win, 31-28 here at Central. They're 1-1, and what a win. We'll be right back after this timeout on 1112 BISN.
Your Bison Network.
What do high school students, student athletes, police, fire, and military personnel all have in common? They often have a need to have patches and other items sewn on the letter jackets, jerseys, sports officials' clothing, and uniforms. That's why you need to see A Stitch in Life here in Cheyenne. They are the high-quality, low-price experts for all your patch attachments, sewing, and embroidery needs. Shannon and her staff specialize in sewing and embroidery and will give you fast, quality service for a low price. So if you've earned that academic or athletic letter in high school, proudly serve as a policeman, fireman, or military member, then call A Stitch in Life at 307-426-5009. Once again, that's 307-426-5009, or visit them at 1024 East Pershing Boulevard for all your sewing, tailoring, and embroidery needs. And make sure to tell them 1112 BISN sent you. Are you a high school student that has received an academic, athletic, music, or any other type of high school letter? If you are, then bring your letter and your letterman's jacket to A Stitch in Life, located at 1024 East Pershing Boulevard, and have them sew that patch onto your letterman's jacket for you. Specializing in sewing, tailoring, and embroidery, A Stitch in Life will bring your letterman's jacket to life. Give A Stitch in Life a call at 307-426-5009, or visit them at 1024 East Pershing Boulevard, and let them know 1112 BISN sent you.
This is number 46, Shane Dosaver from the South High Bison football team, and you are listening to the game on 1112 BISN, your Bison Network.
Is your home beginning to look like an episode of Hoarders on the A&E network? Then head over to American Storage and Postal. With 555 storage units ranging from 5x10 to 12x42, they'll have the right size unit that fits your needs. American Storage also has warehouse units with heat, phone, and power. No need to worry about the security of your belongings because American Storage is equipped with 24-hour video surveillance and a computer-controlled entry system to ensure the safety and security of you and your property. So before the clutter pushes you out of your house, call American Storage at 307-635-9335. Or go see them at 1903 South Greeley Highway and tell them 1112 BISN sent you. Have a package that you need shipped somewhere? Then visit American Storage and Postal. Not only will they custom pack your shipment, but they will also ship the package for you using UPS, FedEx, and USPS. But their service doesn't stop there. At American Storage and Postal, you can also rent mailboxes for personal or business use. They also offer other services such as fax, copying, and notary. Give American Storage and Postal a call at 307-635-9335. That's 307-635-9335. Or visit them at 1903 South Greeley Highway and tell them that 1112 BISN sent you.
Let's talk about the X's and O's of family entertainment. Every parent in Wyoming knows the importance of being able to draw up an activity that'll get you out of the house for a couple of hours. But it needs to be affordable. It needs to be family-friendly. Above all, it needs to be fun. Now, let's talk about high school sports. Bang for your buck, school sports provide the perfect game plan for your family. You'll enjoy all of the drama and excitement competitive sports offer. You'll be supporting the future leaders of our community in a meaningful way. Best of all, you can take the entire family without breaking the bank. Heck, you won't even dent it. Now, enough chalk talk. Let's get out there and see what's playing at the high school in your community. School sports. Good for our kids, good for our community. This message presented by the Wyoming High School Activities Association and the Wyoming Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in Wyoming. This is sportsmanship. School sports. It's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the Wyoming High School Activities Association and the Wyoming Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
When you sell your home, there's a lot to worry about. Is your home priced right? Is it being marketed properly? With Misty Woods from Number One Properties, not only will she make sure that your home is priced accurately based on market value, but she will also ensure all potential buyers are aware of your listing. With her personal and professional marketing of each listing, you can rest easy by leaving all the big details to her. Visit Misty at mistywoods.com. That's MISTIE woods.com to learn more about what Misty can do for you. So start taking all of that stress away from selling your home by visiting mistywoods.com or call her at 307-214-7055. Misty Woods and Number One Properties, expertise and friendly service is just a click or a phone call away.
Hello, Bison fans. This is Steve McDonald, voice of the South High Bison. Do you need a full-service real estate expert? Then visit Misty Woods from Number One Properties. Whether you are buying or selling, her expertise and understanding of the local market can make your real estate transaction a success. Visit www.mistywoods, that's MISTIE woods.com, to learn about her services. Once again, that is www.mistywoods.com. Misty Woods and Number One Properties. Expertise and friendly service is just a click away.
Tired of paying.
So Steve McDonald and Alan Cummings back here live with the wind taken out of us. What a ball game as the South High Bison survive and outlast, if you will, the Central Indians. Score of 31-28. South led at the half 16-14, increased the lead in the third quarter to 23-14. Late in the third quarter, looked like they had the game in control, and Central able to reel off a couple possessions, actually retake the lead and then go up 28-23. But South able to hold on for the 31-28 victory, joined by a jubilant Coach Tracy Pugh. I'm going to let Allan take over. Head Coach Tracy Pugh, first of all, for me, congratulations, my man. That is so cool. Here you go.
Coach Pugh, first of all, congratulations. Such a big win, big win. I'm going to throw some numbers at you really quick. 384 yards passing by Austin Barker. How big was that for your offense to respond after last week's game, but against your own crosstown rival?
Well, after everybody been watching us play the last couple of years, I think that's probably a record, isn't it? I honestly, I can't say enough about the kids. You know, last week we put ourselves in a position to win the game. Really, at the end of the game, we went 77 out of 80 yards. We got our backs to the wall right here. They got the ball in the 40, and they can go ahead. Kids force a turnover. We get the ball back, and you know, it's one of those things where I guess that they're buying in. Maybe they're listening. We tell them Monday through Thursday, I wish you would just listen. I think they've proved to us the last couple of weeks that they're listening to Coach Nelson and Coach Pillavant, you know, and you know, we had a heck of a crowd here, and I can't thank the fans enough. I guess after all that, I'm still kind of at a loss. You know, let her soak in a little.
Hey, totally understandable, Coach. But let's relive the last 18 seconds of the game. Michael DeBryan comes down with a 56-yard reception off a tip pass that was meant for Brendan Nelson.
Yes. Gets
down to the 10-yard line. What's going through your mind as the coach when you get to the 10, knowing there's about 23 seconds left in the game?
Well, we still had 2 timeouts. So what I mentioned to Coach Terrell and Coach Pillavant was just to keep your poise. We've got a lot of time, because when we have 2 timeouts like that, we can take our time really, and you know, we're on the 10-yard line, and we've been able to run the ball okay. And the kids, you know, as many yards as Austin had passing, when we went down and we called the timeout, Coach Terrell called an ISO play, and we went back to running our full house on the next play, and we still had a timeout left, and we called that last timeout. Where was the ball? On the 2?
On the 2-yard line, yes.
Ball was on the 2-yard line, and we asked the kids, you do want to run play action, see if we can sneak it past them? And 11 out of 11 said, run it again.
Yep.
We went right up the middle, and that's what did it for us. And then we had talked earlier about, you know, if we get in that situation, we have to go for 2. And, you know, I was down there just trying to stay composed, and I stuck one finger in the air, so we had kickers running off, and then I realized, hey, we do need to go for 2 and make this a different spread, because we didn't want them to get in a position to win with a field goal. So we had to kind of scramble there right at the end. But, you know, again, I can't say enough about the kids and their resiliency. This has been a long road. It's been hard fought, and you know, I told the kids, but before the game, I said, no matter what happens, you keep swinging. And, you know, I had a buddy of mine, coaches back in Iowa, he told me one time, he says, if you're a heavyweight fighter and you keep swinging, you've always got a puncher's chance. So that's what we tell the kids. Tell them to just keep swinging and move forward from there.
You coach your team, I'm going to say it's unofficial right now, racked up over 500 yards of offense. But the concern, which I'm sure you're going to talk to your kids about, 18 penalties, almost took you out of the game. What do you do to fix those going into a game against the number 1 ranked T-Birds next week?
Well, there's a lot of those penalties were on us, and I'll say that flat out. And some of those things we need to clean up, and some of those things I think probably could have maybe not been thrown. A couple of them were some phantom things going on that I didn't see. I'm not saying I see everything, but you know, we do have to be more disciplined. That's a fact. But you know, the kids overcame that. You don't win many games with 18 penalties.
No, you don't. But you know what, Coach? That just shows you that you've built a program that doesn't give up on each other. Coach, I'm not going to lie. Don't get mad at me. We were writing you off. I was already giving my eulogy for the end of the game, and then all of a sudden the fumble happened.
Yep.
And you could see the team, the spirits just lifted on. And here, turn around. Let me take this monkey off your back for you.
Gotcha.
Coach Duke, congratulations.
Thank you, buddy.
Go to your team. We appreciate it. Good luck, and we'll see you next week against Cheyenne East.
Yep.
Let's
we'll
pull another one off.
Thanks a lot, my guys.
Head coach Tracy Pugh joining us. Big win over Cheyenne Central tonight, 31-28. Now we have our 11-12 BISN MVP of the game coming up. Second week in a row. Number 4, Austin Barker. Austin, first of all, get the headsets on. We're good to go. Can you hear yourself?
Yeah, I'm good.
Austin Barker joining number 4, Austin Barker. I'm going to tell you right now, 384 yards passing. 384 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. But let's go over the biggest reception of the game was Michael DeBryant's tip catch for 56 yards. What was going through your mind when you saw that ball tipped and Michael DeBryant catch it?
Well, when I threw it, I thought, crap, that's an interception. But then, I don't know, a miracle happened and got tipped. And so I didn't even see Michael catch it. I just seen him take off and the crowd go crazy. And there it was. He's on the, 20-yard line or something?
He got down to the 10-yard line, actually. So
fun.
You guys score the winning touchdown. You get the 2-point conversion. You're up by 3. What's going on in the huddle before the kickoff? Because you know Tate Montgomery, one of the most dangerous return men in the 4A conference, is back there. What are you telling your kick coverage team to make sure he doesn't return it? And then what's going through your mind when he gets it all the way down to the 40-yard line?
The first thing I told him was watch reverse, because that's what I thought it was coming, because we wanted to kick it away from him, so I thought they were going to reverse to him, and then he took off, and I was like, crap, I thought he was gone, and then Shane tackled him, and, oh, man, I never felt so great in my life.
Well, I'm going to let you celebrate this one, but before we go, let's kind of look ahead real quick. I know you don't want to look ahead too far. You want to soak this one in. 500 yards passing the first 2 games of the season. You're probably going to be the number 1 ranked quarterback after this week, going up against number 1 ranked East next week. They're going to see a South offense they've never seen before. Mm-hmm. How do you continue this ride but cut down on your errors? 18 penalties. I mean, how do you do that knowing you can't do that against the number 1 Thunderbirds?
Well, I wouldn't say we love playing East, but it's a rival. They probably don't, but we consider it a rival because we want to beat them just as bad as they don't want to lose to us.
Yeah.
So we work so hard this week. Like, this is the target we want to get each and every year.
Well, Austin, congratulations. Once again, the 11-12 BISN MVP of the game, Austin Barker, number 4, 384 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. But more importantly, you got the W. You're 1-1. We'll see you next week.
All right, cool.
Thanks again, Austin.
I love you, Ashley.
Guess you had to throw it out there. So we're going to go ahead and wrap up on the Bison Web and Media postgame show. We're going to throw up some stats and take a quick time out. We'd like to thank you all for joining us. Come back again next week as South High Bison will hopefully travel across town to Cheyenne East. If not, the game will be played at Cheyenne South. But until then, thank you for joining. This is Allan, 11-12 BISN, your Bison Network.